Tiny. Grasp it, dude. First little council meeting between the Harpers and the Gauntlet. It was such an easy time back then.
It was a simpler time.
Yep. With more party members.
True. Alright, I gotta go grab that book. Grab this. Open up my scorecard. Seeing how you guys are doing on the scorecard.
There's a scorecard?
There's
Why
a
was I not
scorecard.
informed?
There's a running scorecard.
Who's winning?
Let me get into it and I'll tell you.
The two that never made to stay alive. Managed to stay alive.
Not quite that kind of scorecard.
Staying alive.
Currently winning is Order of the Gauntlet at 11. Second place is someone you haven't even met yet at 9.
Interesting.
What?
Uh-huh.
So is the Order of the Gauntlet just like a shotgun of just throwing bodies at a problem and then they die? But there's no negatives at dying. Oh, that's right. This is John's group. You can die and there's no negatives.
I mean, I'm glad you're figuring that out, that the Gauntlet, just likes to solve problems by
You know,
Overwhelming force.
just throwing water on it.
Zap Brannigan style.
I'm pretty
Waves
sure.
and waves, my own men.
I'm pretty
Kill
sure
bot
the
had
other
a kill
name,
count.
the other name for the Order of the Gauntlet is the Meat Grinder.
Seriously. Green Bay
Hey.
Packers.
Hey, do you want to know? You guys want to know who's in dead last place right now? Which is probably not much of a surprise.
Fucking the kobolds? I don't know.
No. The Red Wizards. Their score is hyper negative right now.
every time we've encountered them, we've just blown them up.
You just murdered them.
It's because we don't fuck with that.
But that's okay,
Yeah.
This is gonna be a pretty RP heavy session, just so you know, right out the gate.
Yeah, that's sort of expected.
Shit's gone down.
Wasn't me.
I'm good with that. It wasn't me.
Wait, Jeef, where did you see that Black Phillip picture?
Alright. Go to the character sheets, there's a Pool of Radiance section. You click Pool of Radiance, and then there's Black Phillip. And then you click
Oh,
Black
Black
Phillip,
Phillip.
and then you see this awesome freaking artwork. That's the kind of thing I would actually be interested in.
Another deal with Black Phillip.
Nope. Naleska had very good reasons for taking the deal, much to everyone's dismay.
And they were wrong.
Unless you were the character, you can't say. But yeah, I mean, he was wrong.
But would you like to live deliciously is really the only question you need to ask.
Well, he doesn't need to anymore.
Apparently, deliciously does not mean long.
Well, I mean, how long when food's in front of you does it last? Think about Brian here. If Brian's Black Phillip and he's asking that food if they want to live deliciously.
Brian's browser needs to, work.
Can't hear you, dude.
Yeah, Brian, I'm sure you can hear us, and that's all the same.
It's okay. We don't need to hear him.
I was
Also,
gonna say this is ideal actually.
I hereby decree that everyone needs to get webcams.
I have one. I just have to set it up.
I know. I know you do.
I could play on my laptop, but I'm not going to.
Then buy a webcam for like
Yeah, buy a webcam, bro.
$9
They're super
off of
inexpensive.
Amazon.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, you're
Yep.
good.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
What up?
You're really quiet though.
Just move the mic a little bit higher up.
Yeah, it looks like the mic
How
is
about
like a foot from your mouth.
Can you guys hear me now?
A little bit.
Good.
Is it better?
Yes,
All right.
slightly. So I've already told these gents, but this is going to be a little bit of a roleplay heavy session, Bryce, so don't expect too much combat.
Okay.
So if you just want to take the night off, that's okay.
Promise I have a personality too. Oh my
Sword 1 and sword 2.
why did-
Which one's swinging?
Why did we wait for Brian? I mean,
What's that personality now that your brother's dead?
he can be his own man now.
It's time to grow, Brian. I can't wait. I can't wait to see where our Mathon goes. So I've added more characters to the graveyard, and I realize I'm getting a little heavy-handed with my deaths. So now everyone gets a free pass on death. So don't be scared of combat. Just go into it willy-nilly. I promise it'll turn out okay.
Yeah, okay.
I promise everything will be all right, boys.
Brady,
I just don't
let's
trust
go.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Jeeves could have a new character by next session. I thought this was an RP heavy session.
Let me
There was
show
no
you.
combat. How did you die?
Oh,
To be fair, Brady and I almost died during our introductions.
That
We
is
did
true.
not almost die.
He only crashed a floating mountain into another mountain. Not a big deal. We'll get into that later. So
No, we landed it.
yeah, I forgot you put the anchor out. that
landed-
really helped.
You landed it very aggressively.
Yeah, exactly. Anchor down intentional
Still
and
counts.
apply
Jake.
intentional.
Jake, it's like you're driving a fishing boat at top speed, and then you look at the anchor and you're like, "Yeah, this is gonna happen," and you just throw it into the water.
sweet.
And,
Except
and then you beach it.
And then you beach it.
at full speed.
Mm-hmm. It went well. So right now there's two groups. The group coming from Flan and the group coming from Skyreach Castle. Essentially, you guys are going to all meet back in Waterdeep. When you get back in Waterdeep, each of you is going to receive a missive via Crow. We're going to speed this section along because we're going to get to the actual session.
Is it demons from the inside out?
Yeah. You're going to receive a fucking George R.R. Martin Crow with a message tied to it. Two messages, actually. One from Garrick is going to tell the group that was in Flan to meet him at the Yawning Portal Inn 3 hours before the council session. And if you're asking what council session you're talking about, the second invite will be to the next round of the Council of Waterdeep. And not only is it going to say, be prepared to explain what you've been doing while you were away, but also wear your best fineries and try to represent, your faction as best as you can. That wasn't
their
from...
fucking yearly review. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, it is, Bri. Someone's got to give you quests. If I let you guys walk around willy-nilly, you might crash a goddamn flying mountain into a goddamn another mountain.
But it was cool, wasn't it?
Try to explain and justify what you've been doing for the last year. Fuck you. Don't
What
justify
you've been
nothing to
doing.
nobody.
They just need a quick rundown. Know if you're successful since you're back in town. They probably realize, hey, you're down a few members, so let's see what's going on.
I press button number 2.
No. Oh boy. But either way, there's going to be another Council of Waterdeep. The last time you guys were there, if you remember, there was
Brian, you seriously
Zen
need to
from
get
the Zentrum.
The quiet thing for your mic.
The windshield?
Yeah.
I thought you couldn't hear me. Now all of a sudden you can hear everything. What the fuck?
There was Zen for the Zentrum, who Octavian joined. There was Garrick from the Order of the Gauntlet with Agatar. There was Ramalia Haventree from the Harpers, who Tiny talked to. There was Marshal Ravengard, who didn't seem like he was the smartest dude, from the Lord's Alliance. And then there was a very quiet ranger from the Emerald Enclave, who really didn't say much, but he was just kind of stood there and agreed. Does everybody remember that?
I do.
Cool. So, you guys get to hang out in Waterdeep for a couple days beforehand, but we're just going to speed ahead to the Council of the Waterdeep, Neverwinter.
Never crater.
Yeah, never crater.
Exactly. What happened? Who knows? But, like I said, Garrick wants to meet with the three of you, Mira and Tiny and Mathon, before the Council of Waterdeep. So would you just go to the Yawning Portal Inn to, meet with him beforehand? Or would you just go directly to the Council? What would you guys do?
I would definitely be going to meet with him beforehand.
Yeah, I concur.
You can assume that the three of you are going to be able to, even if you went your separate ways in Waterdeep for a few days, you'll just meet up and go meet with Garrick.
Mm-hmm.
So, like last time, you go onto the Yawning Portal Inn. Garrick, looking super fresh because, 2 nights ago was the full moon, so now it's his time to shine. He's looking fresh. He's looking spry. He looks at the three of you, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're back. How are you three?"
Garrick is saying that?
Yeah. How was Flan?
I'd actually go up and buy an expensive round of something and bring it over.
Ooh. For everybody or for just you and Garrick?
For everyone.
Perfect. So, Garrick will take a big swig, look at the three of you. Sorry that I've been a little bit delayed the past couple days. I would have come to talk to you as soon as you came into Waterdeep, but there's a few things a few times a month that take priority, and I had to deal with that first. But now that that's dealt with, I wanted to talk to you before the council just so I can get a bearing of what happened in Flan, so then when I, maybe if I need to interject to the council, I can do that.
Well,
Did you get the dragon mask?
yes. It is
Okay.
safe, and Vorgan Sharax is dead.
Oh. You're able to kill him?
Yes.
I assume that's what happened to Octavian and Naleska.
Not quite, but
I'm gonna look around like, does anybody else remember him showing up after we killed
Yeah.
the dragon? So Gavin, you guys look like, am I missing something here?
I'll kind of do a squinty-eyed
yeah.
gesture towards you with my drink, and hold my hand up like we'll get there.
Okay. So you took down the dragon at least,
Yes.
and you secured the dragon mask.
Yep.
Well, I will say, and where's that right now?
It is safe.
Okay. Well, that's good enough for me. I mean, obviously, I've been sending you guys out nonstop, and you've always come back. Well, at least, you two have, Tiny and Mira.
Yeah.
So at the very least, you're accountable. I just want to say beforehand, before we go into this council, a lot of the bigwigs from around the Forgotten Realms have noticed that the Cult of the Dragon might be a problem. And I'm guessing what they're going to try and do is, well, a lot of them are here to try and determine whether or not the Cult of the Dragon is a bigger problem than what they're dealing with from their homes. So we've got...
It's about time.
Yeah, you're telling me. I've been talking about this shit for years, trying to build this, get this council together, and finally, what does it take? What does it take? Goddamn El Terrell getting drowned in lightning from a huge blue dragon. Flan apparently getting taken over all the way across the Moonsea. You would think, that we could have reacted to this a lot faster, but at least they're here now.
Are we gonna also? I mean,
Speaking
is
of
it too
that,
coincidence that Baldur Gate incident
The Baldur's Gate incident?
are you talking about Neverwinter?
or Neverwinter? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure that the Cult of the Dragon was behind what happened at Neverwinter.
Too much of a coincidence, if you ask me.
No, we know Tharizdun was involved in that one.
Yes, but we do.
I mean, that might be the case, but
Now,
right now, the most important enemy that we look towards defeating is the Cult of the Dragon.
one thing we did learn, and this needs to be factored in with whatever plans we do going forward, is they basically established right after the Gauntlet moved in, cleared everyone out. It basically cleared out the competition for the Cult of the Dragon.
So, like, they have...
We lost Jake for a second. Oh,
Yep. What I don't remember what city it was or whatever it was, but like Augie and them moved in, cleared everyone out, like cleared out the problems, taught the townspeople what do, and then that just cleared the way for the Cult of the Dragon to move
Okay.
in. I don't remember the name of the city. Like, this is Bob. I don't remember the name of the city.
Yeah. So wherever Agatar's going, they're clearing out Agatar.
Wherever he.
So he's training people, and then essentially, as soon as he leaves, they come in.
Essentially,
I'll have to talk to Agatar about that.
Agatar is back.
Yeah, he's back.
So
He'll be at the council meeting.
on that note,
What happened to him then?
What do you mean?
He collapsed into nothing. You came out of a portal and took his arm and his leg and disappeared again.
I think we should address that now.
This seems like a good time, yeah.
I feel like that is a... Wait, I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
We know something was definitely amiss with him. His memories weren't of his own, or at least not of his physical body. He had the memories of like an elf.
I feel like that's the least important piece of this process here. You showing up, Garrick? None of that?
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm gonna look over at Mira and go, am I going fucking crazy here?
You're not going crazy.
No, you're not going.
Alright. Am I gonna... I mean, I could go get Agatar. I assume he's getting stuff ready for the council meeting, but...
Does he remember the fight with the dragon?
Weirdly enough, I don't think we've talked about it since he's come back to Waterdeep.
How did he get back to Waterdeep?
Just seeing if I can see if he's bullshitting.
I don't know. What's your... Oh, so, oops, I'm on the wrong one. 16 insight, he seems to be... You don't detect like he's trying to lead you astray. I honestly don't... it's weird. You would think that he would come right to me when he got back into Waterdeep, but I haven't...
He did not come back with us.
No.
Yeah, I don't know how he got back here then.
You showed up via portal, freaking out mad,
Okay.
scooped up all of his ashes and his everything, went back through the portal. What, can we recall what he said?
I can't deal with this right now.
Yeah.
I can't deal with this right now. Yep.
When was this?
Right after the...
Right after we killed
Yeah.
him.
What about about a month ago?
Yep.
I feel like well, you know, seeing that there's something that I have to deal with every month, that seems like it was right around the time that I'd be dealing with that and not something else.
What? Let's...
Here.
We might be able to get Agatar. He might be preparing to talk at the council. I'm not 100% sure. I can go get him if you want, or you can talk to him at the council. It's... I mean, we have maybe 2 hours. I can probably grab him real quick.
You know what? I feel like we should not make that an issue before
Yeah.
he has to focus on the council meeting, but you know what? Just forget we asked. We'll deal with that later.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna give Mirren another sideways look.
Honestly, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, nope, it's all good. Not
I
even
think
worried about it. And
The
I'm gonna look at
important
Mirren again.
the important thing is that you're here. You have the dragon mask. Like, you have the dragon mask. Okay, So you had us you brought us that informant from the cult by the name of Talus.
Yes.
She's had some odd information. Did you make sure that the mask works? Was there ever a chance for you to use it on Vorgan Sherax?
We
Were
did
you
not-
carrying it then, Mirren? Out of character. I don't think
Octavian
No,
was.
Octavian was. Did he ever actually wear it?
He didn't want to bust it out because he thought Vorgan Sherax would attack him immediately.
No, we did not get a chance to test it.
We do know that it is magical, and it's quite powerful. We did at least validate that it is what it is.
Okay. So, okay. Well, that's good. And it's safe?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Well, as long as we're in control of it, and I just want to throw this out there. Tiny, nothing against the Harpers, but with their past, it's hard to trust them at this moment. I think we should keep that in the Gauntlet's protection instead of the Council's protection, at least for now.
What's the issue with the Harpers?
As long as the gauntlets don't die.
The Harpers, roll a history check.
Find my character.
Sure. I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, I wasn't even. I keep.
I'm so historic.
Oh man, you're so historic. Out of character. I don't know if a Mathon would know this. Calvin Blackstaff became
Kelton Black. Okay.
the leader of the Harpers, and he started doing a lot of neutral stuff. True,
Kind of.
lawful evil stuff.
Scene really. You can go a few ways on that.
Eh.
He started going Nathan King's father.
It's
You
all
know.
part of perception.
Exactly. So the Harpers have been trying to repair their image by having paladins be in charge, like Antharf Room.
Oh god, I'm probably a great poster child for this.
So yeah, if you remember that.
You're the other side of the coin.
Yeah, you're the other side of the coin. When stuff needs to get done, they send Tiny. When they need to, make a good appearance, they send Antharf Room or Amalia Haventree
Or a Mathon.
or a Mathon. But either way, Garrick's gonna say, I think it would be best, just for right now, for the mass protection, that we keep that within the Order of the Gauntlet. Nothing against the Harpers, Tiny.
I disagree. There was issues, obviously, with the Harpers, as you mentioned, but did he say that? The whole thing about the Harper problems in the past?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the flip side being, there's still an outside issue with the Gauntlet. Someone in your organization is tipping off the cult.
They are at least watching us. We know that much.
I mean, this is not... If they're watching obscenely close. If every place that you clear out, then move away from, all of a sudden the cult shows up and starts taking over and making their piece of it known. This is not simply their good spies. They know somebody inside. You have a mole.
Therein lies the elephant in the room.
That's true. And we reached so far, it'd be hard to... I mean, that might be something you want to take up with Agatar. Even though I doubt he would ever be anything other than completely trustworthy.
Yeah, I think this is some things we can definitely address after the council meeting.
Yep. And I think for the time
Sorry.
being, having Mirren holding on to this, I think is honestly our best bet.
The
Mirren
council
and Tiny-
just needs to know it's safe.
Yep. Mirren and Tiny are above reproach.
You'll see Tiny just stick out his chest a little bit and take a sip of wine.
Just don't go into his bag, motherfucker. Don't look at the books.
Oh, he thinks I'm a good guy. I like him.
It's safely tucked away in another dimension.
I like you, Amathan. You can
Another
come
plane.
home and fuck my sister. Oh,
All 32 pounds of her.
Yeah, daddy.
You do make a good point, Mathon. They have shown their resiliency, especially in the face of the, numerous trials that we've put them through. So I guess that is a good point. I wouldn't... If the council asks for it directly, how are you going to respond to that?
That it's safe.
And just keep it at that?
Yep.
That's smart. Don't give them any details unless you have to.
It'd be very difficult for them to make us give them details at this point.
That's
Now,
true.
what can you tell us about the council wanting to involve like the Red Wizards of Thay? And from what I've heard, the Zentarum have not been helping all that much.
You know, the Zentrum have their place. As long as you're giving them what they want, they'll give you what you want in return.
Here's a fun thought.
The red...
Go
Oh,
ahead.
what was that? Go ahead, Tiny.
We've now thwarted the Red Wizards twice, 3 times now.
Did you face...
I think it's several times.
Were there more Red Wizards in Waterdeep?
Yes, the Red Wizards are definitely working with the Cult of the Dragon.
That's good to know, because we've sent them missives to try to get them to the council to try and stop the Cult of the Dragon.
They are only loyal to coin and power.
How would... You know what?
You did talk about in Daggerford seeing a Red Wizard saving people, though, did you not?
And there was the Red Wizard at the mountain,
Fucker.
the mountaintops that we were getting teleported around at,
We know that
Yeah.
they were helping the Cult of the Dragon move around.
and they're part of the Abyssal.
And they
But
were
if I-
they were helping, trying to control Vorgan Sharax. They were the ones that were attempting to wield the mask.
And this was all in Flan?
Yes.
This would be good to bring up at the council just to show them that maybe we can't trust the Red Wizards. Because from my understanding, I thought that you said that the Red Wizards were protecting a bunch of civilians in Daggerford when a gold dragon was trying to burn them to a crisp.
It was. Now, this wasn't it just
was
protecting
he-
themselves,
Yeah.
and not civilians.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he did protect civilians, kind of.
That's literally what I was going to say in character. Was that a side effect of what he was doing? Based on what we've seen of the Red Wizards, I wouldn't exactly trust them.
No, the Red Wizard in Daggerford was protecting himself.
Again,
Brian, I don't think you were around then.
I wasn't. That's why I'm asking in character.
Yeah, but he is around for the Red Wizards that
Yeah,
he
yeah.
encountered in Flan, and he can assume like
The
What
Cult of the
other
Dragon was paying the Red Wizards to basically come out and do their bidding for them.
I think again, we'll address that if it comes up at the council meeting.
okay.
I
That's
think
a good.
okay.
Are you guys ready to address the council and talk about Flan?
I think so.
I think they're going to have questions about your previous encounters too before I got all of them together, just because a lot of these factions are trying to decide if they want to aid us against the council.
All right. Well, we'll meet you over at the council meeting.
Okay.
I'll hop off the table and I'll start walking to.
I'll go find Agatar and
Awesome.
AKA out of character give you guys space to talk about that. I'll go find Agatar and make sure that he's ready for this council meeting.
Does he leave with us?
No, he'll leave and go seek out Agatar.
So like we're both walking out the door. He's going one direction. We're
Yeah.
just standing there.
Yep.
As soon as he gets out of earshot, I'm gonna look at Mathan and Miran. I don't trust him.
Neither do I right now.
And the other thing, I don't want to bring up the Red Wizards because I actually want to approach them.
You want to approach them.
We've defeated them twice. I'm going to try to persuade them that they're on the losing end of a battle and that money and power is to be gained to flip. I think the council will get in the way if we try to do that.
We've already talked to two members. Well, I've talked to two members at this point of the council about the Red Wizards.
And they've both indicated that.
It should be brought up tomorrow. Well, brought up at the meeting. If we don't bring it up, that's going to look shady.
Okay, we can bring up the Red Wizards. I don't want to bring up the fact that I want to approach them.
That is fine.
Is he gone?
Garrick? Oh yeah, he's long gone.
Yeah. I will talk to Garrick and Agatar afterwards and try
I'm
and figure
going
out
to see if the
what-
door's locked.
If
I'm literally going to turn around and see if the door's locked.
The door's locked. You can Tiny, you can scope out, since you're, keen on urban environments, you could scope out a place where the noise of the city's going to drown you guys out, and you could have a private conversation between the three of you.
I'll also just do thaumaturgy of like another conversation happening near the door.
Perfect.
You can actually do that?
Tiefling homie.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
those racials, bro.
Check and see if
I'm all
there's
about
traps on
raid.
the door. Magical traps on the door.
You don't sense any magic besides besides a Mathon's thaumaturgy making some noise.
Boop, 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 boop. I'm gonna check to see if there's any traps. Is that perception?
Yep.
Oh, let's pop. Poop, 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 poop.
Don't seem like it. No.
I'm gonna attempt to unlock the door.
Are you trying to attempt the door you just came through?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can unlock it with your thieves' tools.
Give me 5.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna literally walk into the side of the door, and I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up to Garrick's room. Before I go into his room, I will check that door for magic and regular traps and to see if it's locked.
Okay. Roll perception. It doesn't look like it's trapped.
Is it locked?
Yeah. It was locked. Garrick's room in the yawning portal was just locked with a standard room lock.
What a noob. Okay. I'm going to go into the room.
All right. You you walk through the room. It looks like first thing you notice is it's completely dark in there, and it smells like wet dog kind of.
Okay.
Like like just not like musty and gross, like matted fur. And there is thick blankets covering all the windows. Some of the walls are covered in like deep gashes, like they were made with claws of some sort of beast. And it looks like there was a decently well done repair job on one of the windows.
Advantage investigation, nat 20. Can I determine, like...
20, no big deal. Garrick, in the 2 months that you were gone, one of the months probably, transformed while in his room. He tried to keep himself in it, didn't work. He smashed through the window.
Okay. Does he have a desk in here?
Yeah, he's got a desk with a shit ton of scrolls, all with that handwritten missive inviting people to the Council of Waterdeep.
I'm gonna go through his... I'm gonna check the...
Suspicious.
The desk...
He's also got a list of attendees, it says, with different check marks. Some of them are not checked, some of them are.
I'm gonna take note of which ones are not checked.
Not checked are... Let me pull up. Red Wizards is not checked. As you can probably assume why. Another big one that is not checked is the name... Sorry, one sec. Is the name Gladrolgon. Roll an intelligence check. You've heard this name once. Oh, that's... Roll one more intelligence check. Sounds like a dragon's name.
Can I... Oh, shit, what is... Oh, the new, The new... Oh, is it the White Dragon? Is it her husband?
It is not.
Okay. What is my level 2 Harper? This new character sheet, I lost it, so...
The level 2 Harper ability... Once per day, advantage on a save versus a trap or your next perception check.
Okay. Alright. I will leave. I will lock the door.
Okay.
I will go out, and I will lock the door.
Alright, about 5 minutes later, Tiny comes into the room that you guys are in. Well, the door opens to the room that you guys are in, and then it closes.
I just look over. It's like, welcome back.
Looks clean. He looks like he had a bit of an episode in his room. I think he's turning into a beast.
Well, we sort of knew that already.
Yeah, kind of confirmed it, though. I think he's a werewolf.
I'll
Aaron,
just-
you're
yep,
the
yep.
only one that knew that for sure.
I'll just nod.
Mangy mutt.
So
Hey,
we still have the root issue. He doesn't remember that incident. I'm guessing Agatar is also not going to remember that incident. I
Yep.
don't think we're going to get anything out of either of them on that incident.
Let me talk to them privately about that.
Okay, let's go to the council meeting.
all right. So while you guys are walking, you guys are going to a district in Waterdeep, the Castle District. Very nice district. It's actually set up on a hill in the middle of the town. So Waterdeep is actually really huge for a city. 2 point some odd million people living in this fantasy town. Let me just link you a pic here real quick.
Quiet little mountain town.
Open image in a new tab, please. All right, so if everyone wants to click on this bad boy, this is Waterdeep from the top. Right in the middle, in that area that's elevated by Mount Waterdeep, is the Castle District. You can't actually access the Castle District from the sea, because not only is it on the edge of a cliff, but it's walled off. Because they want to keep, the important people safe.
Like me.
But, like all of you. But as you're walking, you notice there's 2 other people walking, almost at the same pace, who look just like adventurers, just like you. But they look way, way like the Odd Couple. One is an almost 7-foot tall white dragonborn with a absolutely stunning looking sword, and the other is a, how tall are you, Jeef?
3'5".
3'5" gnome. He is hurriedly trying to keep up with the dragonborn's big strides, but it looks like they are both walking towards the council as well, because every turn that they make, you make eventually as well.
Those are my attack rolls.
I think they're following us.
You're used to fighting normal sized things, so they go right over Orf's head.
Oh, I didn't say I was attacking him.
Oh, picking a fight with the dragonborn, I see.
Only one of us can have horns around here. And Mirren too, I guess.
Yeah, that works.
Only tieflings.
Only
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Fucking dragons. Think they're hot shit. Breathing fire and crap. Wait, you're what color dragon?
White.
Alright,
They're
so
fucking
we'll call
masks.
you privileged.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, once you guys get closer to us, you just hear he and I going, "Baroo," and then giggling.
We don't actually introduce ourselves to them. We actually never talk to them, and we go our separate ways.
Fun roleplay session, guys. We're done.
All of you guys decide that, a life of adventurer is not a life for you. You need to go and become cobblers. All right, so even if you don't catch up before you guys get to this Odd Couple, let me know if you can hear this. Actually, let me listen to this first before. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, that is not what you think. That is not what you think. You hear this massive horn
You sure it's not Shaw farting?
blast in the distance, and
What direction?
it's either me farting or this is literally a horn that's reverberating throughout the entire land mass of Faerun, because it's not that you guys were the only one that heard it. Everybody in the street immediately stops and looks around. It's like no one can pick out a certain distance of which way this horn came. I want everybody to roll an Arcana and everybody to roll a history check, and this is individual checks.
My day has come.
Wow. You guys
25 Arcana. 11.
Oh, damn.
17 history. Shit Arcana.
Dude, I'm all about this shit with my plus zeros, bitches.
Damn.
Oh my god, nice negatives, you fucking mark.
Nobody saw those. Tiny.
I'm gonna put a book in front of the white dragonborn and ask him to read it and laugh. He sweats ice.
I'm going to whisper you something.
Okay, do it quietly.
Hey Brady, learn to read.
That
He
actually
can read.
me. Oh shoot, we're not in Discord.
This isn't Jake's barbarian group yet.
You've come across information in I mean, it's been a year and a half. You guys read books when you're not saying you're reading books. You guys traveled on the tradeway for 4 months. Not everything that's been said in session is the only thing that gets said. You've, Tiny, I assume, have been reading some information on dragons.
Yep. I know what this is already.
Oh, okay. You're
The
guessing
Horn
that's
of
what it
Hammerhand?
is.
I don't know where it was blown.
You know that when it's blown,
Yep.
you can be in any location and it will alert
Yep.
everywhere on the continent.
Yep. So do I think it was blown from Waterdeep?
Didn't sound close enough.
Okay.
Didn't sound loud enough.
Boys, shit's about to go down.
What now?
Okay.
The horn is signaling every single dragon on the continent that great events are about to unfold.
Well,
Well,
that's not good news.
Oh, is it continent or Faerun?
Faerun.
Oh yeah, Faerun, much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically telling every dragon that great events are about to unfold, so they can either be part of it or take their hordes other places.
is that Tiamat, or is that just dragons in general?
Just dragons in general.
All dragons. Metallics, chromatics.
This is just, hey, the game's over. You
Or
can
it's just started.
or yeah.
And almost like kind of the last tip of the hat. As everybody's looking around, you guys look up and you see a shadow start flying across the sun, super far away, but you notice that it's an outline of the dragon and is heading north.
That's probably where it was blown. Was north of here.
Well, that's not good news.
I'm curious if the Cult of the Dragon have their hands on it, and they're summoning all the dragons.
Well, if they're summoning both, that definitely means something's going to go down.
What direction north?
Home.
It's
Home? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Like when you push that button. But no,
Okay.
not really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna be like, oh shit.
I'll bring you guys to the map. So you guys are in Waterdeep, right here. The dragon was just flying overhead, probably heading somewhere up here.
Yeah, or the spine of the world.
Yeah.
That's where the spine of the world is.
Spine of the world, like where something else was heading.
Yep.
Baru.
That's right.
I look at Broken Sword and go, huh. What was that?
Did you just fart?
What?
Nothing. So, do you guys want to say anything before we start the council meeting?
No, just make our way there.
All right. So, the three of you, Tiny, Amathon, Mirren, follow this gnome and this dragonborn all the way to the castle of Laeral Silverhand, who is the open lord of Waterdeep. So before you guys go in here, Waterdeep has 10 rulers right now. One of which is called the open lord of Waterdeep because she makes her identity public. So there's 9 secret lords, 1 open lord. Laeral Silverhand is the person that is hosting the Council of Waterdeep, and she is where that is where you guys are going to be meeting. So you walk into this grand castle, and I'm talking this thing is super nice. Because if you're the open lord of Waterdeep, you need to show off that you're some big shit.
So I'll be honest, as we got like close to the actual castle itself, I would turn to the other two and be like, I take it you guys are heading to the council as well? I'd at least introduce and say hi. Once it gets like to there's no way we can possibly avoid walking with them, that definitely say something.
That's to you, Orphan Broken Sword.
Oh, not another tall one.
Yeah. I'll just nod at you.
I would look over at Orf Lightbringer and I'd be like, "Shut up, short stack."
Who are you calling short stack? I've got at least 2 inches on you. Maybe 3.
3.
In the pants.
How tall are you, Jake? How tall is
3.
Annie?
3'2".
I'm 3'5".
Nice.
Go over. It's like, is that some platform shoes you're wearing? Giving yourself a couple extra inches?
No. I'd prefer bare feet, but unfortunately, I have to wear heavy armor.
Don't want to drop that hammer on your toes?
I just pet it. She'll never do me wrong. As a note,
If it makes you feel any better, from up here, I can literally not tell the difference between your guys' heights.
It's okay, neither can we.
actually, considering we haven't really described ourselves besides height, you see this gnome wearing plate armor. He has a shield over his hammer, both around his back. The hammer is literally, like, almost the same height as him. Like, think Reinhardt, but 3'5".
Okay.
Right.
It's Torbjorn.
On the sheet, are you preemptively putting him in the graveyard? Like, is that what you're?
No, I'm. We're just gonna put him over here.
As we go into the castle, kick him into the moat and he drowns.
Yeah, just a meta game. I'd get a ring of water breathing. Just
We'll see.
it won't do you wrong.
It will
PTSD.
not do you
PTSD.
Yeah.
So-
Carry over PTSD.
So, guys, not people that know Orf, you see a symbol on his chest and a symbol on his shield. They are different symbols. Shaw, would they know the one on the shield?
Yes.
Okay, so on the shield, you would
Moradin?
no, Lord's
yeah.
Alliance.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep.
Okay, so on the shield is a giant Lord's Alliance emblem, and then on my chest is an emblem of Moradin.
Alignment for each.
Lord's Alliance from the one member you've met who was from the one member you met, which was the black guy, Marshal Ravengard,
Mm-hmm.
Alder Ravengard. You're gonna guess lawful good.
Ugh. Cool.
Lord's Alliance is a group of lords that started in Baldur's Gate. Used to be the Baldur's Gate lords that banded together to, stop the criminal syndicate, the criminal element in Baldur's Gate. And slowly, more and more lords have come into this Lord's Alliance and, pledged their ideals to rooting out evil within their own cities.
Hey, I want to be really refreshed for this, so I'm gonna pee right now.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Be right-
And hopefully everyone knows Moradin. But, yeah.
Yeah.
The Dwarven God. All right. I was going to say, why doesn't everybody explain or describe their characters so that we can give Brady a run up? Who wants to go next?
Brian, go next.
All right. Tiefling. He's taller and thicker than the average tiefling, which still means he only comes in at about 6'1", if I remember correctly. I suppose I should double check that. Dark hair, keeps a beard, keeps his hair tied back between his horns, which kind of come up and protrude out. He's wearing full plate mail, and he has a large number of different weapons hanging off him. You see bows on his back, on his waist, tied around in different spots. No shield, nothing even looks like a two-hander, but he does have a large number of weapons on him. Other than that, big for a tiefling, looks pretty confident in the way he walks.
Shaw, can I say something to Brian in character?
Yes. Don't ask. Do it.
A real fighter only needs to love one weapon. Strokes the hammer.
You fight your way, I fight mine. Situations each garner what they need. I'm not married to one.
As long as your fights are pure, laddie.
Define pure. If I'm still alive, I'd say they're pretty pure.
Pure of intent.
If you're not pure of intent, why are you fighting?
He's got you there.
If you caught it, Broken Sword is literally rolling his eyes so hard because he's heard this conversation between Orf and somebody else in various different ways a million times. It's like, it's more one of these like, Jesus Christ, are we doing this again?
Stunned silence. I love it.
Okay.
We're giving character descriptions. And Orphan and Mathon just had a very good conversation.
Jake, you can go next.
Okay. 3-2. Right now, he's wearing some leather armor that's studded. He has a bow on his back. You see he's got a couple pouches around his belt. He also has a potion on his belt as well that you would see.
Oh, Brian, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's got a beard. You can tell that he loves he has rings on each one of his fingers. You can tell that he seems, a Mathon and Mirren probably have seen this before, but a Mathon can tell that as soon as we got into Waterdeep, my attitude like completely changed. I was extremely happy. I feel at home in the city.
And on edge everywhere else.
Does your character kind of have that smirk about him a lot?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I figured. I just want to double check.
Oh yeah. Yep. Fairly charismatic. He has a band that goes around his head too, with a big blue jewel in the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of looks like a crown.
I should also note that Orf typically rests with a smile, so he's just like,
Resting smile face.
yeah, resting smile face. Jovial.
All right. Broken Sword or Mirren, who's next?
Yeah, I'll go. I drag my token. There you go. So for the most part, that is essentially a Mirren, except take away the shitty mustache. But he's about Brian's size. So,
As in me in real life. So
yes.
5'6", 5'7".
Yep. Hair is a bit longer. Always has that sort of like sarcastic grin on his face. Is currently wearing like half plate. Has a nasty looking shield and mace on his side.
Is there a holy symbol on your half plate, Bob?
No.
A little rubbed off.
Well, there is the symbol of Bane. I think that is still on there. But
Orf, there was a symbol of Bane on Mirren's half plate.
Was it Bane? I thought. Is that the half plate you picked up here in Waterdeep before we left?
oh shit, no, I'm wearing the new plate.
Oh shoot, you
'Cause
are?
The Maverick
the
stuff.
you picked
Oh,
up
you are
here
wearing the
had
Maverick
symbol of
stuff.
Osmond
Yeah,
Yeah, it had the symbol of Osmodeus on it.
yeah,
That you secretly but not so successfully tried to cover up.
yeah. That's right. I couldn't remember which deity, but yeah, I forgot I'm wearing the new whatever the hell it is. It's let me pull up my character sheet. That stuff.
Yep. Looks very light. Feels very light.
Yep. But oh, that's just walking around with a saunter.
And a sarcastic smile 24/7. Broken Sword?
Okay. Like Shaw said, almost 7 feet tall. White dragonborn, no horns. Just got the nice looking dreads all done up and everything like that.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, Shaw found that picture. I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, going to white dragonborn. It's too awesome. It's too awesome not to. Has the same coloring around one eye. The other eye still has a coloring, but actually has humongous scars from basically almost the back of his head, running all the way down, almost part of his neck. Think Colonel Miles from Avatar, that kind of thing. So I mean, they're not current by any means. They're definitely well established and scarred over. All of his armor is it's really battle worn. So there would be like not necessarily like dings in it or like that, but there's definitely like sword marks, this and that, all over. But it's surprisingly well maintained. So it's kind of like
Don't say scars.
But yeah, so it'd be like so you're like, this armor is clearly not just I mean, it's well maintained, but it's just not for show, that kind of thing. And he has 2 swords. One looks pretty plain and kind of whatever, and the other one, I actually don't know what it looks like, but it's very, very, like, I'm assuming it's very ornamental looking as well, right, Shaw?
Can I link the thing?
Sure, go ahead. I don't care.
Where are you at, Broken Sword?
Under characters.
That's what it looks like. Does everybody see that?
What?
Did that not work?
No.
Can you
It
see
works
that?
it works for me. I
Nope.
can see it.
I see nothing.
One sec.
Oh.
Yep.
okay.
There you go.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Yeah, and it looks pretty like icy as well. So
Ice to see you.
yeah.
Oh God, the puns begin.
He has he doesn't smile.
It's
So-
it's literally the Odd Couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sort of reminds me, I also forgot to mention 2 scars that you'd notice right away on a Mathon. One, the left side of his head coming like from the back of his head forward. Looks like he's got like claw marks tearing into the flesh. And also between like at the edges of his arm where you see his skin is turned like a bubbly blue color. On his back.
Where'd you get those, Mathon?
So anyway.
Love it. All right. So, do you guys want to say anything else before you head in?
We had a Dragonborn with us once.
We had
2.
2.
Oh yeah.
Shield and Jakar. One was black, one was silver.
Well.
Here, let me expand their picks, bros.
Don't. I'm gonna cry.
Shield. Jakar.
My boy.
Look over time. By the time this is done, we'll have encountered one of every color.
That's right.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Alright.
If like
The best party member.
Fucking geek. Yep. All he ever wanted to do was be one of
One of
the
the
guys.
guys.
He was like the Tin Man, Brady. He was like
Oh.
the Tin Man.
Get some out of here.
Get some out of here. All right. So, you guys make it to the bottom of Laeral Silverhand's castle.
I would be
You-
conversing with Broken Sword the entire way, not expecting a response, but essentially going, we haven't really come up with a nickname for you, and I don't feel like saying Broken Sword every time. And when in the heat of battle, I do not want to scream Broken Sword. We need to have a shorter name for you. And broken doesn't sound right because it sounds like I'm describing your personality. Perhaps I could call you Sword, except then it sounds like I'm asking you to give me your sword, and that would be incorrect when we're trying to be in battle. So what about I call you BS? Does BS work? I'm thinking about calling you BS.
Can I cast silence?
No.
Just cast it, Mirren. You get a resounding no, Orf.
Does he actually cast it?
No, I don't know.
No.
Alright.
So, as you guys walk into the castle, Orf...
I mean, Jeef, you'd be used to this kind of thing. It's definitely a one-sided conversation where you just kind of keep on rambling, and I'm listening, but then I just wait for you to like actually stop, and then I would just, if you asked 20 questions, I would then give you 20 answers in like yes, no, no, yes, no, and then you'd probably just ignore those answers.
Yeah, but ultimately, did you okay BS?
I resounded and he said no.
Alright, B's it is.
He's the bee's knees.
No.
Wave it off as we walk in.
All right. So, you guys walk into Laeral Silverhand's castle. There's an attendant waiting. He looks at the 5 of you, looks at your armor, looks at your items. I think you guys are here for the council, yes?
You're correct.
That would be correct.
Oh, right this way, gentlemen. And it is, just a Just a human. Kind of looks like Michael Caine from the Batman movies. You can call him Alfred if you want, because that's his name.
Shit.
And you guys walk in to a bunch of council members, mainly in the middle, Marshal Ravengard, arguing with Laryl Silverhand in the middle of a table. There's not a dragon head on the table, but they are arguing. Around this massive King Arthur circle table, you see a dwarf in very nice armor. You see what looks to be a purple dragon knight. An old mage who has his feet on the table, kind of kicking back and enjoying this argument that's happening. Most of you will automatically notice King Melindrak. He is the, king of the Misty Forest Elves, very well known throughout all of Faerun. You see Dalen Winterhound, who you've dealt with before. Marshal Ravengard is arguing with Laryl Silverhand. Romalia Haventree, you
Dibs.
actually... What?
Dibs.
You actually have to kind of pay attention to notice. If you're just scanning the room, you don't actually notice her, but once you look to where her spot is, then you'll notice her. And she looks like she's just kind of sitting back, watching everything, taking everything in. And then you see Garrick at the other end of the table, kind of right by Laryl Silverhand, just kind of holding his head on his hands. Obviously, the council has already started, and he's already lost control. Laryl Silverhand seems to be arguing with Marshal Ravengard about the importance of a head-on assault on every single cult member that they see, and to instantly string them up. I will let you assume as who's what side of the argument. Marshal Ravengard is obviously saying, hey, every cultist we know as a cultist, we string them up immediately. If we know where there's a group of cultists, we go there, we take them out. No questions asked. They're already too big of a threat to not marshal up, all of the power that we possibly could.
Shaw, two things. One, can you answer my question quick, because that dictates what I do next, because I have something I want to do immediately.
I would assume you can. I don't see why you can't.
Right, but I wouldn't want to.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to do it if it would trigger any essentially provoke.
Well, just cast it and see what happens.
All right. I cast Calm Emotions
right.
on myself as I walk into the room.
Are you doing that to other people too?
I mean, it is each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose. So I cast it on myself, and it lasts 60 seconds.
You guys see Orf start casting something as he walks into the room, and as soon as he takes his first step into the room, you see the man called Taryn Hornblade, who had his feet up on this chair like he was leaning back. He's going to reach out a hand, snap his fingers, and the calm emotion goes away.
I'm going to take a step away from Lifebringer.
He dispelled your spell there, Orf, and it didn't look like it took him much. And then he's going to turn to you and say, you know what? I think in terms of consoles, let's not try to manipulate everybody's emotions right off the get-go. And we'll just see where this goes.
I wasn't trying to manipulate anything at all. I just feel like cooler heads should prevail in serious conversation.
I'll start walking over to Raventree.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put my hand on her armrest.
Okay.
And I'll gesture a quick bow, and I'll stand kind of right behind her.
She'll kind of put her hand up, and she'll rest it on your hand, and then she'll say, just give him a minute.
Yep.
I'm also going to wander over to Haventree after that. Just say quietly, where are the Zents?
You know them. You and I both know them. I'm assuming they'll be here in about 5 minutes. They'll come strutting in, and they'll say, oh, sorry that we're late.
Okay.
One other thing that I'll do in the meantime, Shaw, with that response. Who was the one that was saying we need to string up all of them?
Marshal Ravengard.
I would walk up next to Ravengard and go, what about the people that may turn, that may help us, that may actually see reason? Surely you don't expect to string up everybody. Everyone should have a chance.
I'm going to walk up to Garrick, just pat him on the back, and just flop down next to him.
He's just gonna be like, just give him a second. I'll get control of this. This is how it always starts. Marshal Ravengard just loves sucking the cock.
Oh my god.
Ravengard will look at you, Orf, and he'll say, "You know what? They've had their chance. They could have not joined the cult, but they chose to. And then they chose to kill people all along the Sword Coast. Apparently blow the goddamn Drackhorn, because apparently that's a thing we have to worry about now. So now we're not only worried about small towns getting run over by cultists, small cities like Daggerford getting run over by cultists, fucking gold going everywhere, El Terrell getting taken out by a blue dragon. At what point do we stop saying, hey, I think we need to do something about this, and do something about this?
I'm not saying we sit idle. I'm saying maybe we don't string up everyone that we assume is evil.
Is a child who steals bread to eat, how much of a criminal is he?
Ravengard will look at you, Tiny. That child should know from the beginning that stealing is wrong. And if a lesson needs to be taught so that no other child steals again, I say that's for the greater good.
So what is the lesson when you teach this one person or punish this one person that they shouldn't steal, and then 10 of their friends have died because they've starved? Which is the right path? What if that one person that stole wound up growing up and then becoming one of us?
So you're saying that these cultists that have been raiding and pillaging are going to grow up and what? Start leading cities?
No.
Lead us against them?
No. I'm saying that everyone should have a chance, and we shouldn't go and punish everyone that may have fallen into a bad crowd. We should find the root of the evil, but we shouldn't
Laryl
punish...
Silverhand is going to clear her throat. I think, Marshall, that I've heard your arguments, and Orf, I'm glad you've made it. I think it's time that we give introductions and get to why we are actually here.
I'd bow and say absolutely.
Garrick's going to look up
Absolutely,
and
milady.
say, yes, yep. Everyone's here for a reason. Everyone wants to stop the cult.
Except the
At least everyone wants to. It's been about 5 minutes since you talked to Ramalia, Amathan. And sure enough, like she said, in comes Zen, strutting like a pimp, sits down, looks at the lot of you and says, oh, my invitation said a wrong time. Sorry, I'm late.
Is Augie here?
No, Augie is not here. Not yet. Garrick will say, all right, I think just out of the sake of, for everybody here, because there are a bunch of new faces, why don't we go around and just do quick introductions, why you're here, and, you know, what's your reason for essentially wanting to stop the cult? Because we're all at a different stage on seeing, essentially, it looks like Garrick's getting really flustered. Essentially, the cult is a problem. We need to tackle it. It's hard to get everyone on the same level, but I'm glad you're all here. Laryl Silverhand will kind of take over, and she'll say, I think what my friend Garrick is trying to say is the cult is definitely a problem. And while not everyone has pledged themselves to stopping them completely, we are all in this room at this point. We are all ready to take our first steps towards defeating them. Now we have a lot of delegates from a lot of different areas, so it would be good to get introductions and to find out why everybody is here. And I guess because Zen was the last one to come in, I guess that just, you know, he volunteers to go first. So sorry guys, I'm going to go through a bunch of people. I'll sprinkle you guys in as we go.
It's all good. Hey, Shaw, one other thing.
Yeah.
Do I have any noxious odors in my nose?
Yeah, from Zen and from Garrick.
Thank you.
Garrick smells real evil.
Delicious.
Real evil. All right, first, Zen. Zen, he's just going to stand up. He's going to say, I'm going by the name Zen. It's obviously not my real name, but I'm keeping it hidden from the lot of you. For obvious reasons. I'm here representing the Zentrum. He's going to look at the three of you, Mir and Tiny and Mathon. I'm disappointed to not see Octavian, but that is something I assume will come up later in the meeting.
Mathon will visibly twitch and flex.
The Zentrum have gotten a lot of offers, mainly from the Council of Waterdeep and the Cult of the Dragon, to help on both sides, so we're keeping our options open. And that's where I'm going to end it.
When he says that, I'm going to look at Marshal Ravengard to gather his reaction.
You literally see a gigantic vein on the side of his head pulsating like it's going to explode. And he's just sitting there like fuming, like, oh my god, I want to fucking kill this guy. Next, Conrad Brownanvil. Obviously a dwarf. He's going to say, Oi, I'm Conrad Brownanvil, son of Bannock Brownanvil, the 12th king of Mithril Hall. We got a missive about a year and a half ago from a good friend of ours called Dag Nebbit. And he mentioned that the Cult of the Dragon might become a problem along the Sword Coast, so we're here to see how big of a problem. I'm here to represent the contingent of dwarves in Mithril Hall to see if this is something that we should put our strength towards.
Dagnabbit Waybeard.
Yeah, boy!
The lazy warlord.
Sir Istival will step up. He seems like he's a purple dragon knight, which I don't know if a lot of you know. It's a
Type of paladin, isn't it?
type of paladin, and it is pretty much dedicated to fighting evil dragons. He will say, I'm Sir Istival. I'm here for Cormyr, but essentially Cormyr wants to stay unaligned at this point. I could not, in good faith, do that. I saw what happened at Daggerford. Mir and Tiny Amathon. Daggerford was the city that the Gold Dragon attacked. I saw what dragons can do. I assume that was because of the cult's doing. I saw that a massive amount of citizenry was killed, and I couldn't, like I said, in good faith, let these dragons and this cult rampage across the Sword Coast. So I'm here to hopefully kickstart Cormyr's allegiance, even if they want to stay unaligned. Terran Hornblade is going to take his feet off the table. He's just going to say, I'm here representing the Spellguard. The Spellguard, out of character, is a bunch of very powerful wizards that live in Silvery Moon, which is an elven city. And we're here, I'm just here to, I heard the Drakhorn. It's after I got here. I'm just here to weigh our options. And if you need arcane help, Silvery Moon might be able to provide that. And then, Orf, you can go next.
Orf Lifebringer, I'm part of the Lord's Alliance, and I am a humble servant of the Council. And I bow my head.
Laryl Silverhand will bow her head back. King Melindrak doesn't need much of an introduction. He's going to stand up. He seems very cautious, very slow thinking. He sits in silence for about 20 seconds before he says anything. The Misty Forest Elves realize that the Cult of the Dragon are a bigger problem than a lot of you perceive. And with the blowing of the Drakhorn, we now know that they have items of power even stronger than the Dragon Mass, which is what Garrick used to get my attention. It is time for us to stop the Cult of the Dragon. And I think everyone here realizes that. I think at this point what we're weighing is how big of a threat compared to the other threats our kingdoms face. The cult. Where do they lie?
Mirren will interrupt it, like, once he's done, just like, well, judging since the horn is blown, I'm pretty sure that the biggest threat right now.
You're not wrong. Dylan Winterhound's gonna stand up. He's gonna clear his throat. I just want to make sure that, nature is protected in any decision that's made. So I'm just gonna work with the Emerald Alliance to. I'm here for them. So just we don't want to burn down anything that we don't have to. He looks at Marshal Ravengard. Okay, and then he's gonna sit down. He seems very. Go ahead.
I'll look at him as he sits down and say, surely you're also worried about then the cult having that same influence, especially if they're taking control of dragons.
Yeah. That's true. Garrick's filled us in on some of the stuff that, the group, he points to Tiny Mirren, that they did already. I wasn't the biggest fan that you destroyed the black dragon eggs, so I just want to make sure that stuff like that doesn't happen again. And he sits down. If you remember, out of character, when you were in the Call to the Dragon, their very first camp, you ran into a bunch of dragon eggs and you destroyed them alongside the guard drakes. Marshal Ravengard's going to stand up. Oh, go ahead, Tiny.
I will say, you don't know what those things turn into.
Dylan's going to look at you. Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have a good idea what they turn into.
Okay.
So, yeah. I just want to make sure that, anything that inhabits the natural world is able to do so. So, yeah.
What they turn into, or what they have the potential to turn into, isn't natural. Especially for this plane.
I assume, I think what you should do, you shouldn't consider dragons not a part of the natural world, especially when, they're obviously a part of us here. I think
Yes.
just because they're arcane creatures doesn't mean that they're not a part of the natural world, so yeah.
Yes, but when they're infused with abyss, that's not part of this plane.
He looks like he thinks about that for a second, then he just sits down. Like maybe he didn't realize something. Or he's thinking about it, you're not sure. Marshal Ravengard's gonna stand up. He's gonna look at all of you. Ooh, I have Marshal Ravengard's speech actually written up. 1 second. Let me find this fucking stud. So as we know, the cult, we have now all gathered here to discuss that they've breached the inner workings of our society. They've attacked and slaughtered our hardworking, innocent civilians. They've taken our valuables and proven that we're a realm divided. Now I think it's time we stop discussing our tactics and take action, finally, against this enemy. This cult, this enemy, our enemy, have selfishly joined or gathered and sharpened the blade which has wounded our realm. And I urge all of you to join with me against this desecration that you have so willingly let happen on our doorstep. Yes, I'm blaming all of you for not taking action early enough. I'll show you that the cult is a young and toothless power, and if we join together now, the cult will be nothing more than a bump in our paths. I wrote that up, guys, and you just dropped penises on him? He was supposed to be inspiring.
He was. You got 4 rounding to 4 rock hard penises.
I feel sorry for the dude that has that head on his penis. It's like a fucking space. So, on that note, obviously, it's time to take action. And I know Garrick's with me because he's been preaching. We have to stop this cult. And the best way to do it is with brute force. Head on. Take them out while they're still young. They blew the Drakhorn. How many Dragon Masks do they have? We don't know. Attack them now. Attack them strong. Use all of our combined might.
Nothing is sacred.
And take them out. Don't! He's not holding a dick, you son of a bitch!
It's a +5 dick.
Every time Ravengard talks, he gets a fucking... Every single time. Why? He's passionate, guys. He's passionate, okay?
By the way, in character, Shaw, Orf would turn to Marshall and nod to him and say, no one doubts your conviction, and I believe we all have the utmost respect. I think it's just a matter of...
Utmost respect? I got 6 dicks on me right now. Utmost respect, motherfucker.
We're adults.
Sorry.
Deep breaths.
He's gonna look at you. He's gonna pat you on the shoulder, Orf. He's gonna say, I know, Orf. Some people deserve redemption, but the cult does not. And it's time that we take them out before they take us all out.
Let's finish introductions before we continue having our debates.
Broken sword.
Brady, that's your character.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think exactly what I was going to say.
I'm thinking about all those dogs lying around.
Oh my god, those are some beautiful cacks. What can I say to get a cock drawn on me?
I'll just say, I am Broken Sword, and I'm here, and that's enough.
I like it. Who was to... I'll just say Tiny was next to Amalia.
Lords, ladies of the council, my name is Tiny, and as far as I'm concerned, as long as I live, this council has my bow and my shadows to defeat the evil in which the cult brings to this plane. I will stop at nothing to ensure that this plane is safe. I will do a performance check. I'll stop at nothing to ensure that this plane is safe.
Ravengard's gonna speak up. Yeah, and Subtlety's gonna do that, Tiny. And as he says that, Laryl Silverhand, you fuckers, Laryl Silverhand will speak up and say, "We gave you your time to rant, Marshall. I believe it's time to let Tiny talk." And Tiny, we do believe that, and we know we've asked a lot, and we thank you for everything that you've done.
Please, it's the least I can do.
Now, if you could please draw one more dick on Marshall Ravengard, I would greatly appreciate it.
No, dude, this guy's really helping him out.
Ramalia Haventree will look at Tiny and she'll say, "There's not much else that needs to be said. I'm representing the Harpers, as well as Tiny is here, and I think cooler heads will prevail in this fight." Amathon.
Amathon, I'm here also supporting the Harpers for the same goal that we all follow.
And then finally, Garrick will say, "Well, as you know, I'm Garrick Helene." And King Melendrak at that will get this very quizzical look. And he'll say, "Helene." Garrick will keep going. He says, "Well, obviously the cult has posed much of a problem for the Sword Coast. Not only did they start in the southern regions near El Terrell, but they've grown to become, not only did they start in the Greenfields region, but they've grown to become almost an unfightable force. They're all the way over in Flan. They're in the north at the spine of the world. They're down in the green fields. We don't know quite where they're... how far their reach is, but we do know that it's time for the lot of us to gather together and to fight against the cult. And I'm speaking for Agatar, but he's going to come in here as well. And then Agatar opens the door, and in walks big time, big bad Augie. But a lot of you are going to notice something weird. He has the same arm armor, the same leg armor, but it is attached to Skirg's body.
Yeah.
Agatar is going to walk in. Oops, wrong way.
I think you meant to say Skirgatar.
Oh no, I meant to say Agatar. Agatar is going to walk in, he's going to look down, he's going to say, obviously, the cult is a problem. Ravengard, you're an oaf. Let the cooler minds prevail. Garrick said everything we need to. The cult's a problem, and it's time for us to band together to finally start getting shit done. Me and Garrick were able to send... Well, I went with them, and we downed a green dragon and captured a green dragon mask that was controlling them. And that was just what the Order of the Gauntlet was able to do. With all of us together, this cult isn't going to be anything but, a problem we think about in the past. It's going to be easy. And he's going to look at you, Amathon, Mirren, and Tiny. He's just going to nod at you.
I'll nod back.
Yep.
Shaw, any noxious odors?
From Agatar, no.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be nitpicky. Can I trigger Divine Sense secretly, since it just says I, as an action, open my awareness? So it's almost like, can I just stand there kind of pondering with my eyes closed, but trigger it?
Yes.
Oh, I would have done that the minute there was noxious odor.
Oh, okay. What is it? Sense?
I linked it. Divine
You
Sense.
can open your awareness to detect such until the end of the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead. Undead, Agatar is glowing like crazy. What are lycanthropes? Are they fiends?
I have no idea.
They're magical beasts, I believe.
Magical beasts? Okay. Then he doesn't glow. Agatar glows like nuts,
Yeah.
though.
But Garrick is insanely evil that I detect, and Zentrum is evil, but not as much as Garrick, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Garrick radiates so much evil, it's unreal.
Thank you.
Who did the detect evil before on Garrick? Was it Rand or was it Mirren?
I think it was me.
Okay.
I know Rand had issues with him, but that's a different story.
Okay. So yeah, Laeral Silverhand is going to say, all right, now that everyone's been properly introduced and everyone knows that we're all here, and she's going to look at Marshal Ravengard.
Mirren's like, you skipped over me.
Oh, shit! Agatar,
See, I don't actually matter here.
Agatar, when he's done, is going to step forward and he's going to say, now for a very important member of the Order of the Gauntlet who's been getting shit done while you guys all talk. He's going to point at you, Mirren.
Hi, I'm Mirren. I'm with the Cult of the Dragon. You'll sit back down.
I hate you so much.
Fucking played. You got played. You played yourself.
Orf is just smirking so much and looking at... He definitely looks over to Ravengard.
Ravengard knows Mirren. He's not laughing. Everyone else, lets out a little chuckle. I assume Tiny looks down into one of his bags, which is holding 6 cultist robes right now, but that's another thing entirely.
Shut up.
No big deal. Sorry, Mirren.
It's okay.
So Laeral Silverhand is going to say, okay, so...
Hey, Shot, a quick question for you.
hmm
Did you ever sign Chief and I rankings?
Not yet.
Okay.
I was going to wait till the council's over because you might get promoted.
Okay.
Laeral Silverhand is going to say, okay, a lot of things have been happening, like Agatar mentioned. Why don't we just go through all of the things you've done up to this point at least all of the things that Garrick has gone through with us, and you can just mention briefly if one of you would like to talk. Tiny, Mirren, and Amathon when, it comes to Flan. So first things first. Romalia is going to stand up and she's going to say, we really appreciate that you freed Leosin from the Cult of the Dragon hatchery. If you guys remember, he was like a little half-elf monk who was super arrogant. We really appreciate that. And, that not only... that started to paving the way to our relationship together. Laryl Silver or Garrick will bring up one thing we did want to talk about, but with all of us present, is what exactly happened in Daggerford. Sir Istival has come here, and his story doesn't seem to line up with what you guys told me originally. So, could we just go over what happened there real quick? That's to Tiny and Mirren. Do you remember what Daggerford is?
That was just the one place that was like completely destroyed, and there was the one Red Wizard of Thay protecting from the Gold Dragon.
It was a gold dragon, yeah.
Yep. I'll start from the top and more or less say, hey, we approached, we showed up. Gold Dragon was fighting a Red Wizard.
Sir Istival will stop you right there. He'll hold up his hand. A gold dragon?
Yes.
I'll pull out a coin. Gold is this coin.
That can't be right. Was he stopping a different dragon from destroying the city?
The Gold Dragon was attacking the Red Wizard.
Okay.
And he was burning the city along with it.
Yes, he was.
Because he thought the city was it was worth the loss.
Of taking out a Red Wizard.
Yep.
That doesn't seem... So he was sacrificing lives? Innocent lives? Civilian lives?
Yes. Without a second thought.
That doesn't seem right. Did you do some sort of glamour? Was he wearing some sort of glamour? Are you sure it wasn't a red dragon in disguise? He seems flustered. Sir Istival does. You're positive. You're positive that it was.
Pull out my quantum, as sure as this coin is a sign of my god.
Tiny, roll a intelligence check. 19, perfect. Do you remember that name on Garrick's list?
Yeah.
That was the name that the Gold Dragon introduced himself as.
I will say the name Galadro.
Gladralgon.
Gladralgon.
You'll just say that?
Yep.
Sir Istival will say, how do you know that name?
Name the Gold Dragon gave us.
The Gold Dragon that you said supposedly attacked Daggerford?
The Gold Dragon that attacked Daggerford. Yes. Not supposedly. The one that did.
I know that dragon personally, and I don't...
Have I lied to this council before?
Probably.
Nathan, you're part of the Harpers. You're supposed to keep your mouth fucking shut.
If you truly want to question us about it, you can just cast Zone of Truth and get it done right now.
I don't deny that of what you saw.
You don't accept what we saw.
That is the harder part. We want to bring in the gold dragons into the Council of Waterdeep, but if he was trying, maybe they have information against the Red Wizards. We're working with the cult, but why would he sacrifice civilians along the way?
The Red Wizards may possibly have a greater role with the cult in succeeding. And if he's sacrificing innocent lives to kill a Red Wizard, then I think we should truly be worried about what role the Red Wizards play in this.
Yeah. The Red Wizards were also present in Flan, and were used to control Vorgan Shirax.
Laryl Silverhand will speak up. Orf, Broken Sword, did you encounter any Red Wizards while you were adventuring north?
I can't remember, did we?
You came into a room that had a bunch of wizardy stuff, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it did have red robes, I said.
We never encountered any directly, but it's safe to assume, based on what we saw.
So the Red Wizards were in Flan. The Red Wizards were on Castle Skyreach. The Red Wizards were in Daggerford. I think it is safe to assume that they are working with the cult in some capacity.
The Red Wizards will do whatever they want for money and power.
I think the key is not.
Zen will actually laugh at that. And
Sounds
say,
familiar, doesn't it? And they'll look over at Zen.
Sounds like a good motto to live by.
I think the thing we should really be focusing on is I don't think it's a question of that they're working with him. I think we have more than enough evidence. It's just what impact are they providing? Again, if a gold dragon is killing innocent lives, the impact must be great. And it might be a very key feature to get whatever their plan completed.
Yeah.
We know that they don't have the spell casting ability that they need to actually do what they need to achieve.
Yes, that is very true.
And I feel the need to bring up that if a gold dragon is killing innocents for the greater good, is that really the greater good?
Sir Istival will speak up. It's hard to question when an intelligence like a gold dragon decides to do something. Usually they know more than... He seems taken aback. More than we do, I guess. If that was for the greater good, it's hard to question that.
It's also hard to weigh innocent lives against a greater good. I'm not trying to get into a debate. I'm just saying this is definitely news that we should take to heart and really let it sink in.
Yes. Yes, it is. Marshal Ravengard, everybody's favorite penis handler, is going to speak up. And he'll say, you know, I did get a missive from, to change the subject, Sir Justin, and he had a glowing support of Tiny and Mirren in particular. He said Mirren did what he needed to do and got everything done.
Is Justin the one who's building the tower, Shaw?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the one with the gambling addiction.
He sent a glowing recommendation of Tiny and Mirren, and he says that it would be smart for the Lord's Alliance to ally with them because...
Hey, Shaw,
Yeah.
I want to cast Invoke Duplicity and just have myself posing, like, just several clones just around, like, chest out around the table.
Terran Hornblade's going to speak up for the first time since his introduction. He's going to say, oh, Tiefling, if you want to show off, we could have a little contest, but I don't know if this is the place.
And Mirren will just chuckle.
And I'm going to mutter to myself, I guess next time I'll cast for humor.
Zen is going to speak up, and he's going to say, seriously, you guys worked with Sir Justin, and it went well. Like, am I actually hearing this correctly?
It went well enough.
Yeah. Just so the council knows, the dude spends 95% of his, paycheck on gambling. So it's not, far to assume why he was so happy about the Cleric of Timora coming into there and saying, hey, I'll do what needs to be done. Let me guess, Mirren, you guys just played a few rounds of cards, maybe threw the dice a couple times?
A little bit, but we did quite a bit more.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about, maybe you played Bones and a little bit of Liar's Dice too? Does that...
I'll look
No.
over at Mirren and chuckle.
We mostly, I forget, what was the actual place we cleared out? Like, what was the name of it?
Inyarv's tower was where he was.
It was the one place was
Castle
like...
Meritar?
No.
No, that was the place we, like, TPK'd.
That was the swamp with the
Yeah.
It was Hulk House.
yes.
Yep.
I returned a lovely lady to her father.
Oh. Well, either way.
I didn't say that out loud.
I'm just gonna say, I did lose just a tiny bit of amount of a tiny bit of amount of respect for y'all because you worked with Justin. I mean, whew, you got more patience than I do, that's for sure. All right.
Sometimes you got to play the long game.
'Tis true. And Laryl Silverhand's going to say, and I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but it was unfortunate that we did lose Shield and Jakar, from what I understand, Garrick telling me, right before we got to Castle Skyreach. Thankfully, Orph and Broken Sword here are to report on what happened with Castle Skyreach, so were you able to find it?
Yes.
Could you expand a little bit?
Cross my arms and look at Broken Sword.
Is this a resource that we can use
There
and
was
is
hev-
out of the cult's control?
It's definitely out of the cult's control.
Okay.
There is heavy resistance there.
Uh-huh.
Orph and I cleaned them out.
Raven Guard's gonna say, hey, like that.
I'm going to completely disregard his comment.
It
Not
was-
even break stride. We cleared them out. Our fallen companions clearly did not make it back with us.
Regrettably.
We found the control room for the floating tower,
Okay.
and regrettably, we were unable to bring that back, but it is not within use of the cult.
So you hit it. You hit a mountain.
We hit a mountain, yes.
You scuttled the mountain.
Did you say hit or hid?
We crashed it.
Terran Hornblade is gonna get up super quick. You crashed it?
Well, it was floating, and we couldn't really control it, so we tried to control it, and we
Why
just...
didn't you contact anyone who would be better suited to fly that castle? Like
We-
me
I'll laugh at
or Ramalia.
I'll laugh at the fly the castle thing.
I will say I will take full responsibility for my actions. In hindsight, clearly that was the better call to make.
Clearly,
I'm
it
not
was
making
the better call
I'm
to
not
make.
making excuses.
Broken sword.
However, we had just been fighting for how long did you say we were fighting for? Like 24 hours or some shit like that.
It was long.
24 hours of grueling battle.
And we
I
fought
would
a
say-
white dragon. A full-born, or fully grown white dragon was in there. Now, Broken Sword, don't... Yes, we take responsibility, but you also have to understand, is there any way we could have contacted you as it was flying north?
When did it start flying north?
After we pushed a button.
Oh. So yes, there was time to contact me.
Hence why I take full responsibility for my actions.
Alright, you may have pushed the button to make it go north, but that's not the point. The point is, don't beat yourself up
hold
over
on.
it.
Hold on a second. Who actually pushed the button? I
The
don't
first
think
one?
It wasn't me.
I think it was Orph.
Yeah. I will say flat out, I did not press the first button.
Either way,
Either way, it is... They won't be
Out
able
of-
to use it.
all
I will-
of the cult's
I will-
control.
I will pull out a map and I will point to the exact location. You can find the debris there.
Conrad will speak up. Well, nice thing about dwarves is we know a bit about mountains. I think I got some cousins up in the north that might be able to help clear that out for a small finder's fee.
I mean...
If everyone on the council is of agreement, we can make sure that everything in there is protected and well taken care of.
good luck on the salvage mission, because we crashed the mountain.
Crash the mountain into a mountain we've dealt with cave-ins is not anything we haven't seen before.
Excellent.
All right, boys. Next. Can someone please...
I can't believe Orph tried to pin this on him. On fucking Broken Sword.
No,
by saying
legit.
I pushed the button.
I didn't remember who pushed it first, and you started going on acting like you knew you pushed it, so that's why I went with it.
No.
I
was
would have
just saying
I would
take
have
full-
totally taken responsibility.
Yeah, I was just saying I take full responsibility for my actions.
Makes sense.
It's
I
not
felt
like
I was
either
too
of us.
busy. I was too busy kicking the shit out of everything, including a full-grown adult white
White
dragon. You know, so that when we got to that point in time, and
We
somebody
were a little
decided to push
out
a-
of. We
somebody
were
decided
out
to
of.
push a button,
Yeah.
I just started pushing buttons as well, and ultimately pulled the wrong lever.
Maybe.
It was
Yes.
definitely the wrong lever.
It was definitely the wrong lever. Well, that's something to take into consideration. Laryl Silverhand will say, Conrad, if you would be so kind to not maybe... You're welcome to help us exhume what's left of the Skyreach Castle, and if you do want to take what you think is rightfully owed, go ahead. But I think we both know that returning those stolen goods, gold, property to their rightful owners in the south, in the greenest region, would be for the best. And Conrad will just nod. All right. Agatar is going to step up. Well, my memory of Flan seems to be a little flawed at the moment. I can't quite remember everything that we did, so if one of you can maybe step up and explain to the council how Flan went, that'd be great. I tried to explain it to Garrick, but I don't really remember those days or the past couple of days, just to be completely honest.
Shaw, does he sound more like Skurg?
Yes.
And does anyone else in the council that's met Agatar before seem,
The only person that seemed like something was up was King Melindrak, and it was as Garrick introduced himself.
yeah.
I'll look over at you, Mirren.
Sorry. Oh. I can say by the time we got to Flan, it was already overrun with the Cult of the Dragon. They were routing the rest of the city. Many of the populace were taken to help mine and look for, what was it called?
The Fountain of Youth.
The Pool of Radiance.
Pool of Radiance.
Yep.
I'll give you keys to talking points, Mirren, that you can hit on. Hector Braum.
Hector Braum was already captured and oh fuck.
Did you save him? Is he alive?
Oh yeah, we said he's alive. Sorry.
Okay. Welcomers. Ramalia will say, there is a contingent of, I don't want to say Harpers, but, allies
the
there.
Welcomers are unfortunately gone.
Oh.
In fact, most of the city is honestly gone.
Did
Most of the
you-
townspeople are dead. We've cleared. Sorry.
Did you work with them?
Yes.
Well, that's good to hear at least.
No.
The government is established there. It just will take some time to.
And I want to bring up a point. One thing that we did discover is every city that the Gauntlet has helped, the Cult of the Dragon has soon followed. Basically, the Gauntlet has gone in, cleared out any of the local problems, and the cult moves in.
I will just slink down. I want nothing to do with that combo.
Garrick will stand up and say, I know that my friend Mirren here is making it sound like maybe the cult has something to do with the Order of the Gauntlet, but I will say that first off, right up front, the Order of the Gauntlet has only ever been opposed to the Cult of the Dragon. I have brought everybody else together. I have brought this council together, and we're here to fight the Cult of the Dragon together.
Mirren is like I'm like the one issue that we have is there's not enough forces, in these towns that we go through and help to prevent another group. It doesn't have to be the Cult of the Dragon, another group from moving in quickly after the fact. It essentially creates a power vacuum.
You're right. And, with how the Order of the Gauntlet has worked in the past, usually by going places, training them to stand up for themselves, it is
The old methods of 100% force might not work today.
what proof do you have that they were actually moving into places where the Order of the Gauntlet has been, and it wasn't just this one-time situation, so that we can maybe relieve the council that that's not happening all over the place, but is just happening near Flan?
To be perfectly honest, I don't remember the one guy that said it. All I remember is that was a
Didn't it happen
higher-ranking
in
guy.
Eltrell as well?
Yeah, it was another city that was by Flan, wasn't it, that they first moved into?
You have something that proves it.
Oh yes, Burnix Journal. Thank you. Then I'll pull out the journal and basically just hand it out.
Oh. And who is this Spurna character? He seems a little loopy.
He really is.
Oh, he certainly was. But he was a member. Let's see. Spurnick was a member of the cult, right? He was a decently ranking high member.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a fairly decently high-ranking member of the cult.
This is concerning. Garrick will kind of rub his hands together. I just want to assure everybody that we will look into this. It makes sense that they would be going to places that we are sending Agatar, because they are the weaker places, and Agatar is a good trainer. If they're coming in directly behind us, they still wouldn't be prepared, because they wouldn't be able to put into motion everything we've taught them.
And Mirren will just, nod at that. And if his clones are around, they will all nod as well.
Yeah, they are.
Did anybody catch the license plate of that bus that Mirren just threw the
Yeah, you guys ready for this one? Ravengard, his temple's just a pulsating. He's gonna stand up.
You did say brute force is not the thing. He can't take it.
What did I tell you? If we work... Yeah, maybe Garrick is bringing everybody in together. But, as he's showing, we can't just hope that people we train are going to be able to defend against the cult. We need to take our armies, Melandrax, the Cormorants, the Dwarves, the Waterdeepians, the Harpers, the Gauntlets. We need to gather our forces, and we need to make a strong push right now. Now, Mirren.
They're all over the place. There's
Right.
no big force to push up against.
So we take them out one at a time. One at a time, baby. See the ones in Daggerford? Taken out. Daggerford's not a problem. The ones in Flan? Taken out. Flan's not a problem.
Flan might be a problem again. I think what needs to happen is a force is actually put there in place. Any place we go should have, essentially like a force from this council there to help protect them and to let them reestablish themselves.
Or we show them that we can amass such a force to counteract any evil that they're doing. We show that we can take them out no problem, and then slowly but surely our brute force wins over, because they can't face the might of this council.
Good luck over the continent.
Everyone, like all of the other leaders, are just looking at Ravengard, letting him finish, and then just kind of like smirking, because they realize, this guy is just
Yeah, fucking nuts. Let him have his aneurysm.
Yeah. Silverhand will kind of rein everybody back in after Ravengard's little thing, and she will say, Mirren, please keep going.
Okay.
Next plot point: Ixu Saxa, Spurnick, Kanar.
Yep. There was a... Let's see, he was a devil or a fiend?
A Cambion.
Yeah, there was a Cambion there that was helping with a cult. And what group did Ixo Saxon belong to, or whatever her name was?
She was an old Zentrum member, and then Octavian's teleported her with a scroll to somewhere.
There was even a Zentara member there. I look over at Zen and that's right.
Oh, we got her. At that, Ramalia Haventree will speak up and she'll say, I think it's best from here on out if, when we do encounter higher-up members, that we do what the Zentrum showed can be done. We take them alive and we get information from them. Because, she looks directly at Marshal Ravengard, killing somebody isn't going to help us understand them, either their motivations or their plans.
So, what
Agreed.
information did you get from him, Zentrum?
Her.
Them, not
Yeah.
him.
Orf,
We don't use pronouns here.
Zen will look at you, Orf. Is it Orf? Orf with like a 1 O or 2?
I don't care how you spell it as long as you say it right.
Oh, okay. Orf. How much money you got?
How is that relevant in this conversation?
Oh, I'm just curious. Just a question. Like yours was.
Okay. Well, at least one of our questions was relevant to the current conversation.
Mm-hmm. How much money you got? That one.
I'm just going to stare at him plainly.
The information we extracted from Ixusaxa was a Zentrum matter and was Zentrum only. She did not have much information on the cult. If you kept Kanar alive, or Spurnik alive, high-ranking members, as you said, maybe they would have been able to provide you any information. But right now, I can say without a doubt that Ixusaxa was not able to tell us anything about the cult that we could use in any way, shape, or form to help us battle them, especially not information that I would share with the council.
So why is this guy even here?
Sorry, I raised my eyebrow and just like glance at Laryl when he says that, but like nothing too overt.
He's here because it would be best if the Zentrum are working alongside us, is what Laryl will say. The insinuation there is that she doesn't want them to work alongside the Cult of the Dragon.
Clearly.
Laryl will say, like we said at the beginning, this is just a first meeting so that we can kind of get our bearings and see where everybody is at. We're not marshaling ourselves to join forces and fight them head on. We are just showing that the cult is actually a threat and that all of us are, in different levels and different ways, ready to take them on. Interested in seeing them gone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Broken Sword, is that a good enough answer for you?
Barely. So this is like a pre-meeting meeting.
This is a council of the leaders all along the Sword Coast and in other areas of Faerun who are here to discuss options. Ravengard will snort. Options. Like I said, it's getting a lot done. Laryl will sigh. Mirren, if you would please keep going.
We did encounter. I think it was 2 red wizards of Thay or 3.
Well, you
At
encountered
least.
you encountered 3.
Okay.
One walked through a portal with their Thayan Knight,
Yep.
which you immediately murked. One was working at a table, just making spells, who you immediately murked. And one was Wrath Modar, who was actually aggressively acting hostile.
Okay.
So the one who came through the portal, remember, we did try to question her.
Yep.
So hold on. Doesn't that mean we did 4 because wasn't the one under the Gold Dragon?
No, I'm talking about
Oh
at
no,
Flan.
I thought he meant in Flan.
Yeah, I
okay,
meant at
sorry,
Flan.
Sorry.
We did encounter 3 red wizards of Thay. 2 I don't remember the name of. The last one went by the name Wrath Modar.
Terran Hornblade will cough and kind of spit out the water he was drinking. Sorry, keep going.
He is no longer around. You don't have to worry about him.
Okay. Okay. He's dead?
Yes.
For sure.
Pretty sure.
100%.
Yes, my arrow went through his eye.
Tiny, don't you have like his like medallion or something like that? Or didn't he have something that was
Did loot
like
the shit out of him.
yeah.
Wrath Modar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he have like his awesome robes or something?
Yeah, I got Wrath Modar's robes.
Yeah, just like
Are you going to hold them up?
I'll take him out and kind of hold him up.
there might be still some of dried blood on that right there.
Tyrion Hardboy is going to say, I'm going to have to call an immediate halt to this council for just a brief moment. Tiny, my friend. I need to tell, okay, you don't understand the importance of what you're holding right there.
I know what it does.
You do. I am not saying you don't. All I'm saying is Wrath Modar was the leader of the entire illusionist sect of the Red Wizards.
Yeah, I know.
And is this more important than the Cult of the Dragon slowly taking
It
over our
is,
continent?
because if Tiny is carrying around his robes and flaunting them, there's no chance. I'm not saying you have been, but you could in the future, even if you're wearing them. Now, taking out one wizard is a great feat. Taking out a red wizard is an even greater feat. Taking his robes and wearing them without the red wizard's consent is a death sentence. Not for just you, but for anyone that knows that you have them. And that includes everybody in this council at this moment. My best suggestion would be that you send those back to Thay. You tell them what happened with nothing but the truth, and I don't know, maybe go there yourself to give them to them.
P.S. Hope it was worth it to them.
The Red Wizards, if they are, we do not want them against us. If they're not going to be with us, at the very least, we want them to be a neutral party.
Are they not against us already?
Consider it done.
I have your word that you'll send it back?
You have my word that the robes will make it back into the Red Wizard's hands.
Normally I would take this upon myself, but you and Mirren and Mathon and Orph and Broken Sword, y'all, as members, you have shown that you are capable of doing things, and I will trust it. I will leave it to you. But I cannot stress enough how important it is that nobody outside this council knows that you have those. He's going to look straight at Zen. This is not information that should be sold or bartered with. Don't fuck with the Red Wizards. That's all I'm saying.
So me and Orph are being lumped in with these three now?
They started it.
Oh, I've just
Broken
been
Sword.
assuming whenever he's talking about stuff specific to them, it's just them.
Either way, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
that's
sure
what I'm
he's
saying.
dead.
That's what I'm saying. So we're being lumped in with these three now.
Everyone in this room is lumped in together concerning the Red Wizards. And while a lot of us, lead the elves, the harpers, the gauntlet, we do need people to go out and stop the cult directly, as Mirren, Tiny, and Mathon, you, Orph, and you, Broken Sword, have done. And unfortunately, you have lost members of your adventuring party, and I think it would be best if you team up together, since we know that the five of you do have the resolve to get through things, hard things, tough things. You've shown that you can survive, so why not put you together and solve our problems? And while Marshal Ravengard wants to rally the entirety of all of our forces, that's not a smart play. Romalia will agree. She says yes. Calculated attacks on the Cult of the Dragon are smart and a better move, and I think the five of you would be the ones to do that.
That was a really long way to say, yes, we're lumping in you two in with those three.
Yes, it was.
And I'll just give them a nod, like I understand, so I'm not being a complete ass, but I'm being an ass.
I hear ya. I hear ya.
Either way, the Red Wizards were controlling Vorgan Sharax, the Green Dragon.
Okay.
They were using him to look for what was known as the Pool of Radiance.
Right.
It was there that we killed Vorgan Sherax along with Rathmodar and the rest of their support forces.
Delon will pipe up. You were at the Pool of Radiance near Flame?
Oh, before
Mirren was
Mir-
nod.
before Mirren had started up again, since we were being formally told we were partying up, I'd walk to each one of them, Amathon, Tiny, and Mirren, extend my hand, and say "Broken Sword" as an introduction.
Nathan, shake it.
I'll grab your hand, and I will say Sigzil.
I'll have one of my clones lean over to Tiny's ear. I give them 2 months.
Do I hear him say that?
Yeah.
I'll when I overhear that, it's not an actual smirk because it's more just like I don't even know how to smile. Like your mouth just doesn't do that. And you know,
I don't know
whatever.
how to smile,
But I kind of give him like this like toothy whatever, and give him one of those challenge accepted.
I love it.
We need one of those like little signs that say like days since last.
Date says last death. Starts back at 0.
Yep.
What did Tiny say to me?
I said Sigzil.
He introduced himself as Zigzil.
Sigzil.
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 I look at you confused. But whatever.
What?
Everyone calls you Tiny.
Well, that's just pointing out my size.
What?
We have Tiny, not so Tiny, pointing it over at Orf. And then just like...
See, this is what I'm talking about. You need to have nicknames. Broken Sword is such a long name. I'm just going to stick with
It's
Bees.
not a
Laryl Silverhand will clear her throat. I am glad that all of you have had a briefest of moments to get introduced, but I think this is something that could be handled after the council is done meeting.
Completely agree. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay. So, Mirren. We've heard about all the leaders.
Was that Silverhand who said that?
Yeah.
Alright.
Vorgan Sherax. What happened with him?
I'll reach into my bag and pull out a tooth. He's gone.
Everyone in the room will just start clapping. They're very impressed. You get a standing ovation from everyone in the council.
This is leaving again.
This is the first thing that, and they're congratulating all of you, not just Mirren, Tiny, and Mathon, even Orphan Broken Sword, but you know, you're not really lumped in yet.
Hey,
This is the
Bees.
first thing. This is the first thing that everyone has agreed on, and everyone has, you know, like, cheered together with. I mean, that's the truth, man.
Yep.
You should have.
I'm just saying, I'm not even acknowledging you if you call me, whenever you say that kind of stuff. So you're just literally talking, it's me actually ignoring you. Which you might not be able to tell the difference.
Exactly.
Actively ignoring you.
Actively ignoring you. Stop.
So he's like a little 6-year-old trying not to look at you. Okay, finally. Laryl will pipe up, and most importantly, Amathon, Tiny Mirren. The original reason we sent you out there is because we heard rumors that there was a green dragon mask. Were you able to recover it?
It is safe.
With you?
It is in a safe place.
A place that you can get to.
Yes.
Are you actively keeping it from the council?
Not actively keeping it from the council, but there's just some people we might not. And I'll just give a nod towards Zen.
The less that anybody knows about the mask, the better.
Yes.
To Terran Hornblade's previous statement about the red wizard robes. Regardless if I have red wizard robes or not, everybody in this room is a marked person who has things that could seriously jeopardize if anything of theirs becomes compromised. So the less that anybody knows about the mask, the better.
Garrick will say, I agree completely with what Tiny is saying, and if anybody has any questions about whether or why the Order of the Gauntlet and, Tiny and Mirren are hiding the mask, they can come ask me. Or in other words, they can ask Agatar, and Agatar will cross his arms. At this point, we in the Order of the Gauntlet, Mirren, Tiny, and Amathon believe that hiding the mask with them is the best and safest option for it. King Melindrak will stand up and say, I don't like that you're already keeping stuff from us, especially when you're trying to bring us in for help. But if you think that that's the best play, then as of right now, I will agree with you.
It is for now.
Zen will just look at the three of you and kind of shake his head. Conrad Brown Envol was picking his nose and wasn't really caring.
If anything were to happen to us, we will instruct the next people to receive the mask would be this council.
That's fair for now. Laryl Silverhand will say, I think that's the best move at this point. And once we have more meetings and, become more familiar with how each other work, I think, maybe we can develop that trust where we do bring it to further council meetings and we do figure out how best to use it and utilize it against the cult. Fair?
Fair.
Okay, well, let's get you to the reason why you guys are here.
I'm actually gonna say, King Melindrak, with the utmost respect. If you're not comfortable with people keeping things from each other, then why are the Zentrum here? They've already clearly stated that they are not choosing to actively side. They are simply waiting until they can choose the best side.
He thinks for a second. He leaves his awkward, 20, 25 seconds of silence. As if he's pondering what he's going to say next.
And then before he starts, if he kind of like inhales and seems like he's going to say something, I'll just tell him, my apologies. Please disregard. I did not mean to speak out of turn.
Good, because you are making assumptions that I was the one who invited the Zentrum here in Broken Sword. And I don't like it when people make assumptions in my place. And he looks over at Zentrum like, why the fuck are you here, bro? So Garrick will speak up. Well, I'm glad everybody is acquainted. It's very, it's good that everybody's at least here and speaking and ready to face the cult. Agatar and I have gotten some information concerning... Sorry, I'm getting to the right page here, bros.
All good.
Actually, can we take just a minute? I need to refill the water.
I need to
I wouldn't
hit the
mind,
bathroom.
Yeah, does everybody want to take 5?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be
take
fine.
5. Thank you.
Hooah, gotta get something to drink.
Hey, Shaw.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry for kind of letting you go on and then interrupting. Since I am trying to develop Broken Sword's character, I kind of feel like I
No,
don't get to respond in the right sense.
I want you guys to do that more often. That's how you develop their characters. It's perfect.
Well, because I was trying to decide, I was like, okay, like is Broken Sword going to sit there quietly or whatever? And I've kind of decided that I'm just going to call things out and I'm going to say it whether or not like it's the quote unquote appropriate thing to say at the time. You know,
Mhm.
like again, still with respect to the king, because he's a king. You know, there's a class system, and he's aware that there's a class system. Whether or not he agrees with it, it still exists. I mean, he definitely believes that strength is important, and then therefore, like, if I can crush somebody, then I'm more important than them. But there still is a class system that, like, well, especially like humans and stuff follow that isn't Dragonborn culture.
Mhm.
So in that sense, that he's going to be respectful, but he's still going to call him out on it
Right.
because
I like it. That's what roleplay sessions need because I need, I don't want to just sit here and talk for 3 hours straight.
Broken Sword already hates Zen.
Good. That's what I need from these council meetings. You need you guys to realize that, like, the Cult of the Dragon is bad. Everybody realizes that, but that doesn't mean that everybody against them is on the same page.
Yeah.
And they're not allies.
Yeah. Broken Sword probably hates the vast majority of the people in here.
Does Broken Sword hate Orf?
No. Broken Sword actually likes Orf.
Yeah, buddy.
He'll never show it, though.
No, of course not.
Basically, his way of showing it is to outright not say, I hate you.
Yeah. Tolerating me calling him bees. Yep. Feels good.
Yeah, so sorry that I brought you guys right into a roleplay heavy session, but I think all of this stuff needed to get done so people understand what's going on.
Dude, fuck
Oh,
you.
I like
I love this stuff.
I like the roleplay session.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so I don't remember a lot of the details.
no, dude, it's been 3 years. We've been running for 3 years, and we just hit the halfway point. So,
And it's like our last session outside of the one 2 weeks ago was like
was it February?
it was February.
Yeah, because it was right before I went to the Dominican.
Okay.
It was a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the session before that I think was October.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Hey,
But
Jake,
those ones were thankfully weekend sessions, which I
Yeah.
hope we can do a few more of.
What's up?
completely unrelated. Did you see that James Van Riemsdyk signed with Philly?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he signed with Philly. Apparently, he was going to sign sooner, but the reason he did not sign sooner was because they had a problem with printing his contract. There was a printer problem. They couldn't print his contract, therefore he could not sign it.
No way.
Yeah, the NHL is apparently, I was reading in Reddit, and a lot of people said the same thing. The NHL is incredibly far behind in terms of, like, because somebody was like, why didn't they just have him docu-sign it? And they're like, because they literally do pen and paper and faxes for the vast majority of everything.
Oh my god.
So
it's
because
okay,
they,
that's like the health system.
so because they couldn't print it, therefore he couldn't sign it, and therefore he didn't sign with them.
I'm surprised the Wild haven't made more moves.
I'm not. It's the Wild. I know we got a new GM, but it's still the Wild.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys drew so many dicks on fucking Raven Guy. What did he ever do to you guys? He's just very concerned.
Dude,
My suggestion is actually for him to go to Flan, and he and Hector Brom can battle it out for the city.
Oh, dude, Hector Brom would fucking get wrecked by Marshal Ravengard. Let's be honest.
I kind of want that to happen.
Hey, Shaw, which of the members of the Lord Alliance here seem the most? I'm trying to think of it. Like, other than Ravengard, because I don't like him either. Seems like they're probably the strongest, not in terms of even just physical strength, but just
Terran Hornblade is probably the strongest out of all 6 members here. I'll let you know what you guys can roll. I'll just out of character let you all roll history real quick on Terran Hornblade. If y'all want, it's up to you.
Oops.
And then I'll just assume that you'll eventually all get this information.
We're not rolling well.
Well, Mirren, you'd actually already beat the DC. So did Broken Sword. Terran Hornblade is a really high level invoker. His nickname is Thunderspell, which he earned during his Mage Fair duels, where it became readily apparent that he has mastery of potent battle spells. And he had a tenure among the Spell Guard, where he showed his prowess in defense of Silvery Moon, and he straight up 1v1 to Draco Lich. So yeah, you guys can take that how you want. Dude's like 90 years old, kicks it back. He's
got big cojones.
Yeah. He's worried about all things magical. Which is why when Tiny busted out that red wizard robe, he wasn't mad at Tiny. He just wanted to get it across that even he's scared of the red wizard's collective intelligence in getting that robe back.
So what you're trying to say is that his little cockiness and everything that is very rightfully deserved.
Oh God, yeah. More so than anyone else here. Besides like King Melindrak or Conrad Brownonville. I mean, they're all pretty powerful in their own right because they're all leaders except for Sir Istival, who's just, I don't want to say just a Purple Dragon Knight, but he's just a Purple Dragon Knight.
But
With
as far
the
as
right
personal
intentions.
prowess, Terran is the dogs.
Yeah. He's got the big old balls. So Garrick is gonna step up and say, thanks to Tiny and Mirren, we have been talking to a cult member, and as he says, talking to a cult member, Ramalia and Marshal Ravengard, as well as King Melindrak, are all gonna simultaneously scoff, because working with Talus the White is something they must not agree with. But Garrick will say, I think we should focus at least the power we have with these five, mentioning all of you. We know that they can get shit done. And Talus the White, Brady, Talus the White is a Cult of the Dragon member who used to hold the White Dragon Mask, but it got taken away from her.
Yep, I remember that.
We have Agatar and I are able to locate the movements of Varam, the new White Worm speaker, alongside Talus's help. And if you guys think it would be the most pertinent issue, I think we should send these five to not only find out where Varam is, but at the same time get the White Dragon Mask from his grasp. And I think that would be the most important thing that we could use the resources of these five for.
If that's what the council feels is best.
Sir Istival will speak up. And he will look at King Melindrak and he will say, well, I was talking to the king before we met here, and obviously everybody heard the Drakhorn sound. And for anybody who is unaware, the Drakhorn signifies to all dragons of all colors that something is afoot. I think, and in my personal opinion, the most important next step that we could take would be to send these five to seek out where the Drakhorn is and retrieve that from the cult's hands. Because if they keep blowing it and get more and more dragons to their cause, we know the devastation that they can
Question.
create.
How do we know the cult has the horn?
Well, it's not in any of our hands, so we're just assuming that the cult has it. It's we feel it's a fair assumption to assume that the cult has it because
I don't disagree. I just
El
curious
Terrell
if
was
we
attacked.
have-
Flan was attacked, and now they're blowing the horn after you all have taken the green dragon mask. Maybe they realize their masks are in trouble, and they're blowing the horn to stop any more masks from being taken. So if we can get the horn, then we can worry about the masks.
What else do we know about the horn?
Unfortunately, this is something that I believe Taryn can step up to talk about. Taryn will.
We don't know that the button we pushed was the actual home beacon button, right?
You
In
just
character.
assumed.
Whoa, would we have any reason to believe it was a home button over just a go that direction button?
No.
Okay, then I won't say anything.
So Taryn will get up and he'll say, "Well, obviously you all felt the shift in the wind and you heard the horn. And I will say that everybody across Faerun heard the horn because that horn signifies to dragons that great events are unfolding, much like Sir Istival has already told you."
Actually, I have one other question. How much Dragonborn? I mean, like I know like they're really far removed from dragons,
Mm-hmm.
but would there be any feelings at all? Like, is there even like something like way down there primal kind of thing, or no? Would I not feel anything?
It's not like it compels you to do anything.
Right.
It's just a great sounding that the dragons know, hey, you better buckle up because dragons are amassing and it's going to fight. Most of the time, it deals with the Drakhorn. The Drakhorn deals with dragons because when all these dragons are involved, it doesn't matter what humans do. They're just going to get swept up in the fight.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Dragons most of the time being the most powerful creatures in this prime material plane. It's important when they all step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Humans do what humans do,
Yep. I understand now.
They fucking go off like a firework for 65 years and they die. They change something, they don't. They're humans. But Taryn Hornblade will keep on saying, he's like, the only known expert that I'm aware of is a tiefling sorcerer from the Arcane Brotherhood known as Macath the Crimson, and I'm pretty sure she went off into the sea of moving ice 3 years ago in search of it, so obviously she either found it or the cult followed her.
Macat the what?
Macath the Crimson. She is a tiefling sorcerer who... A tiefling... is she a wizard or a sorcerer? Yeah, she's a sorcerer. She's a tiefling sorcerer who has overcome her... I don't want to say abyssal bloodline, but she can tap into her draconic bloodline and cast spells with it. And thus she's wanted to become the end-all be-all source of knowledge concerning the Drakhorn and Dragon bloodlines. And she's wondering, does the Drakhorn call dragons on a level that we don't know? She was going to find that out. And I know she went to the Sea of Moving Ice 3 years ago to learn more about it. Because I think that was the last known location of the horn. I'm not 100% sure. But if you were to pursue this, and if the council wanted you all to pursue this as our next step, I think she would be the best place to start. Laryl Silverhand's going to look at the five of you and she's going to say, obviously, it's if you all want to, we're not saying you have to, but since you're a D&D party, and if you want to keep playing, you got to accept this shit. You have options. What do you all think together is the best option for you to moving forward?
I think potentially the horn could bring us allies.
Without the mask, though, we could show up at the point of the horn and have nothing to help us combat them.
Fair.
I'll turn to Zen and ask him, what do you think our best option is?
Hold on 1 second. Bob, are you alive? There we go. Never mind.
Actually, I swiped left.
You bumbling
Tindering.
or Tindering?
Yeah, boy.
I like it, Bob. I like it.
Disconnect from you fuels. Damn it, fuels.
We are fuel sources, Bob.
Yes.
Broken Sword, since I know you're not going to share the White Dragon Mask with the council, I guess the Drakhorn would be my vote.
So is that inferring that he has the white mask?
No, I know once you get it, you're not going to share it, much like
Okay.
you're not sharing the green mask.
There's also something to consider in the case of this sorcerer that's hunting down that's interested in the horn, could be a potentially strong ally. And I'm guessing she knows quite a bit more about dragons above and beyond this horn. Looking at Taryn as I say that.
Oh, yes, Talus the White has been surprisingly very knowledgeable about white dragons. Unfortunately, her knowledge begins and ends at white dragons, but that's neither here nor there. I'm guessing that Macath the Crimson knows more about dragons. I haven't corresponded with her much, recently, but...
What do you know about this Macath Crimson to begin with? Friend of yours? Lover? You ever met?
I don't think she'd be able to handle me, to be honest.
That's the point.
In bed, I mean. In bed. Young whippersnappers. But that's neither here nor there. No, we were just correspondent colleagues. We both have an interest in all things arcane. Hers mainly lying with the power of dragon blood and sorcerers. And so periodically she would ask for my advice concerning different magic items that she didn't much know about.
Do you know her well enough to be confident she wouldn't have joined the cult if she found it?
Oh, she is very strong-willed.
That
I
wasn't my
don't
question.
think she would join, but,
Could she
If
be coerced in some way, shape, or form?
Well, unless the Drakhorn was her way of signaling everybody on Faerun that she found the Drakhorn.
Which I'm guessing once she found her toy, she didn't exactly feel like sharing it if she found it.
True. I don't know her well enough. I only know her via correspondence and letters. And periodic, messages. Like through arcane means, he means.
Yeah.
But, I don't want to lie to y'all. I will just say she seemed very intent on finding the Drakhorn, and I don't think that she could be persuaded to the cult's means.
Good enough for me.
I'll look at Zen and I'll tell him, and I'll talk at him, but in a more talking to everybody way, but definitely talking at him.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should probably go after that dragon mask, but I'll leave that decision to
How about
party members as well. And I'll give him that stupid toothy thing that I do, where it's not really growling, but it's definitely showing teeth.
allow us as a group?
yeah.
Allow us as a group to converse, and then we will inform the council of our decision.
I think Laryl Silverhand will say, I think that is best, Tiny. Orf, were you going to say something?
I just would have liked to hear your opinion on what you think we should direct our efforts towards.
I think with you being the ones that are not only putting yourselves at risk and facing the cult, I do have an idea of what I would like done, and it is both. I have an idea of what I would like done first, but since you will be the one putting yourselves in danger, and in my experience with working with both of your groups, I know that they will both get done. I'll leave it in your hands to figure out which one you want to do first.
So what was option 2?
I'd bow and say thanks.
Huh?
Many thanks.
What was option 2?
So you can either
Go for the horn.
go for the Drakhorn, or go after Varan the White, the White Worm Speaker.
Okay.
So Laryl Silverhand will clap her hands. Alfred's will show up, and she will say, if you could leave these 5 into a side room, get them anything they want, they are going to discuss briefly, and when they call back to come into the council, they are definitely allowed back in. And Alfred will say, this way, shit. and he'll bring you out into a side room.
Hey, hey, Shaw. After I got done talking to the room, but mainly Zen, pretty much the entire time everybody else was talking, I was just staring at him.
Did you see that a tattoo formed on his forehead that said legend? Because that dude's a fucking badass.
I know. I'm just staring him down.
Is it a tattoo of a dick?
Dude, Brady, I'd just like to point out he was 5 minutes late to a meeting with a bunch of kings of different areas, and none of them spoke up. That was completely intentional.
Hey, I already told you. I'm gonna say whatever's on my mind.
I love it.
Once we do get into the room and the door is closed, I'm just gonna sigh and go, I really don't like making decisions. I was hoping she would tell me what to do.
It's okay. Mirren's just composed coin. I know what I'll do, and I'll flip the coin.
Okay, it lands on its side. I am not picking for you, sons of bitches.
That's fine. So,
Where's my railroad? God damn it!
Choo choo! I'm taking it off the rails.
nope. You're not exactly. 1 sec.
Oh!
I think
I want you guys to have an in-character discussion about this.
Did you really pull out a coin and flip it in the air?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Like in
100%.
character?
Yeah.
Fine. Then in character, I would say if you're leaving it up to chance, I would just snatch it out of the air, and be like, and just tell you, and I just hand it back to you. We're not leaving anything to chance.
Roll a dexterity save.
Oh God. Oh, I gotta pull up my character sheet. I just click on dexterity, right?
Oh my god!
Did I catch it?
You did catch it, and when you open your hand to give it back to Mirren, it's standing on its side.
I'll also say to him, when he says we're not leaving it to chance, I'll say, if you don't intend to leave anything to chance, you are definitely in the wrong crowd. And I'll look over at me.
Mirren is sort of like dumbfounded. Spin the coin like the top in whatchamacallit in
Inception.
Inception.
I assume it, like Inception, continues spinning indefinitely.
Yep. In Broken Sword's hand.
I'll tell him, Athan. I have no problem leaving some things to chance. I'm just not leaving this to chance.
Like your chance of getting away from me, big boy. 0. Rare.
I'm thinking whatever decision that we make, are we all alone in this room?
Yes.
Gentlemen, I don't know. I'll look at Broken Sword and Olaf here. I don't know how long you've been part of this game, but Mirren and myself have been part of this game for quite some time, and Amathon has joined us for a little bit here.
2 months.
Somebody in that room or multiple people in that room fairly well could be compromised. As far as...
Can I interrupt that really quick? Because...
Absolutely.
Just interrupt it in character.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this in character. I'm saying, can I interrupt you?
Tiny with his other party members.
Hold on, no, I need to click that. So, Tiny, if I may, I do have... I have an honest question, and give me an honest answer. You know that the leader of the Order of the Gauntlet is incredibly evil, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Close leader of the Zentrum, if it's any consolation.
Yes,
There's
but we
different
don't have a Zentrum on this party. Like, I am not standing in a room with a Zentrum. I'm standing in a room with 2 Order of the Gauntlet that... Or no, sorry,
I
one.
think it's only one Order of the Gauntlet.
Just
here.
only one.
And
Yeah,
it's...
just Mirren.
Just Mirren.
It's just Mirren.
Right, sorry.
And if you, and
Oh yeah, Mathan and
They're
Tiny
Harpers.
are both Harpers. Okay,
Yeah.
or I guess one thing that we should point out here is, and I understand your feelings upon evil, as I played one for 15 years. But goddamn blazer eyes.
Does
I gotta move to a different tab.
15 years? I mean, does that last year even really count?
Yeah, fair. What you need to understand is there are a lot of different evils fighting this one major evil to eradicate it. Now, there is something going on with Garrick, and I do believe I don't know who's part of what in that room. So I propose is that no matter what we decide in this room on what we're going to do, we tell the council we're going to do the other. So that if we decide we're going to do the white dragon mask, I will declare to the council that we are going to go after the horn. So that if the cult is being tipped off, they will be tipped off incorrectly.
Do we think?
And
Well, we do
actually-
know that there's issues there. Do we actually believe that the members of that room, that one of them will spill the beans on it?
I don't believe it's one of the members of that room. I believe it's somebody underneath one of them who will receive the information on what we're doing.
The reason I bring it up is they didn't seem to know when we were going to Flan. If we do have potential for some
Well,
kind
didn't we
of
go to
aid,
Flan like immediately last time? Like we were just going right to Flan.
The
Did
council. Oh, go ahead.
did
The
the
council
Horizon
meeting
Walker-
that you, the council meeting that you guys came to, they only brought you in to tell you what you were doing. They didn't give you a choice last time.
So they had to know where we were going. As much as I like the thinking, Tiny, I'm worried that what we're going to be doing is we're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater and lose any help we could possibly have access to.
Not to mention if they send two parties at that point after, well, they send a party and we go along with it, that leaves the other thing possibly in jeopardy.
I think, if nothing else, I think we should certainly be wary, and I like the thinking. I'm worried that we might put ourselves in a worse situation as a result.
Well, but I believe Miss Silverhand said that because we're going out, we will be doing both. So I don't believe they're going to be sending another party, and I believe the council thinks that we're going to do both tasks. It's just in what order, and I would like to think I would just I guess the misdirection here is what I'm trying to really.
Do both options take us in the same general direction? I don't think we have asked that question.
I'm just
Well,
worried
either
that
way,
again,
it's-
we will alienate our allies, or we will not have access to them when we need them if we try this.
I don't believe we've had access to the allies before in the past, regardless.
Either way, the person tipping him off is probably that fucking Zen guy.
Which is very possible, but at this point in time, I suspect everybody, even Miss Silverhand. And I'll look at Orf, and I'll give you this apologetic look, like, I'm sorry, but
I'd have an easy smile the whole time. I wouldn't flinch.
While
the
I
thing
do agree that there is a level of betrayal here, I don't know if this is how we should look to weed it out. I don't know if alienating and betraying the people that are supporting us again. While we do realize that there's an issue here, I feel like we might be jumping the gun here.
especially if they wind up trying to hook us up with allies along the way.
how about this? I will announce to the group that we are not telling them our plan, and we will go about our plan. So this isn't lying to them.
We ask for both, like the information on both.
We will say that we will to keep everything, because I mean, Amathan, as soon as we leave this room, we're on our own. We have not had help from this group before, and no, I mean, we're really out of the reach of the group once we leave Waterdeep.
Garrick has been able to help us in the past from afar, and last time again we had Agatar with us. I certainly don't believe that it's a lack of interest there, and they have shown up to help before. Also, they hooked us up with Horizon Walker, who was invaluable.
Agreed, but I think it's mounting to a level of resources that these people have, and that it's being stretched very thin. I want to be very the cult has had a head start in the game of subterfuge for all of this. I'd like to just
Level the playing field.
take some ground back.
Perhaps this. Why don't we announce that we do not have the necessary information to begin both right away? That we need to do our own investigation and our own research to find it. We pick, if you do want to still play the subterfuge game, we can pick two groups and tell them that we believe we will be doing this one first. We're not outwardly lying. We leave a tip for somebody else that they can follow a trail, and if we do find that those breadcrumbs lead to one or the other, it's a good place to go.
It does cut the room in half.
Now that
We tell.
go ahead.
But we also tell then whoever we're speaking to that we are expressly concerned and we don't want this information to get out.
So we tell half the room that we're doing one and half the room that we're doing the other.
Doesn't necessarily solve our problem, but at least gives us a hint. And again, as the group as a whole, we don't commit to one or the other.
It does cut the room in half.
One thing I will say, like, what stops them from actually talking to each other?
Nothing.
I
don't think
agree.
it
With,
stops.
I agree with Tiny's original. Or what did you say your name was actually, Jake?
Sigil.
Sigil? I agree with Sigil's original plan. We tell them, or I shouldn't say original, modified plan. We tell them we're going to make the decision. We don't tell them whichever one, and therefore it's all on us.
I
And
will
I'll say this time around you have myself and Orf.
Now that we have actually talked about what we're going to tell them, maybe we should actually talk about what we want to do. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but, I mean, the horn's already been used. The dragons are all in a ruckus. Do we know if the horn does any more?
I don't
We
believe
don't
so.
know yet. We don't know if there actually is a level of influence that it spreads. That's what Taryn was hinting at, that there might be more to that, but we don't know. The Crimson, this tiefling sorcerer, seem to be the most knowledgeable.
She
That's what-
wanted to find it to see if it did anything, because they don't actually know if it has influence or not.
Taryn was leading more towards that. That's what he wanted us to do, correct?
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, then I'm siding with that one.
See, I'm thinking quite the opposite. We know that the horn has already been used. I mean, it makes...
Well, we know the mask is valuable.
Incredibly.
I feel like no matter what, we should go after the mask if it is such a valuable and powerful artifact. I'm not downplaying the horn. I'm just saying we know the horn's been used, and we're still standing.
And if it's a countdown, then what? If somebody powerful above you and who knows more about the world and again is more powerful than you, it would be wise to heed their warnings.
I mean, if someone was powerful and above me, I would hope that they're not driving a mountain.
Says the person who pushed the first button.
Says the person who turned off the ship.
So the horn, we know that it's been blown, but we don't know what else it could be capable of, and it is without a doubt a world-reaching dramatic effect. If they blow it more times, there may be more effects. We don't know if it's a one use, and that's the only thing it does. We just know that it's an artifact of some level.
Correct.
We know what the mask does.
Just because of those things, I feel like the mask should be what we go after. But I'm also one vote, and I don't want to make a decision.
I would actually, looking at it from what we've even discussed here, I would rather go after the horn. We know the influence
It's
of
an
the
unknown.
mask. We know what the masks are capable of. While it's incredibly powerful, we also know its limitations. Example being, they couldn't control Vorgan Sherrix with the mask without going out of their way to get help from the Red Wizards, which, as we also found out, was incredibly expensive and draining on them. The Horn we simply don't know. We've got the potential for another ally that we could pick up along the way, somebody who hopefully knows this information well, and if it's positive, could be a very powerful mage to help us out, and also one of the leading resources on dragon artifacts.
Agreed.
I agree
think
with that.
I think it's just too big to let it go, especially again, as I said before, we know what the white mask will do. Also, this white speaker you found before seems to be able to have some idea in tracking this person's movements, correct? Even if they don't know specifically, they tend to know where they are. Is that correct?
I don't think so.
Didn't they, Shaw, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't they say that like they got information from her and she had some idea where the current white dragon speaker was?
Yep. She knows where Varam the White is, the White Worm Speaker, because she is tracking her mate, who is the dragon that Varam is controlling with the mask.
Okay.
She knows
So-
where her mate is, so she has an idea where Varam is.
So
It's
we
not
have...
an exact location of where he is, but
Okay.
That's what I thought I heard in the meeting. I just wanted to confirm. So at the very least, we have some idea We have some idea where this other white speaker is, so there's more of a chance that we'll be able to come back and find them later if something else does happen. The horn is a new player to the game. A new piece is on the board, and I think we need to know what it does before we can really make a good decision. That's my vote. Obviously, I fully encourage anyone to voice their opinions, but that's where I sit.
Mathon is horn. Broken Sword, your horn.
Correct.
Mirren?
I think we go for the horn.
I don't have to decide.
I agree. The horn is a new piece in the game, and we need to, if we're gonna play chess with this, we need to know what it does.
But we agree we're not telling any members of the party.
Broken sword, broken sword. Baru.
Or not the party, but like the council.
The
sorry.
council?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we should tell the council that we need to investigate further, and that we intend to do just that.
We can say we plan on keeping them appraised of the situation later on as it develops, and then just feed them whatever.
So
And-
then,
And just in case the council doesn't like that and decides to put a coin on its side and say choose heads or tails, what happens then?
I will take care of that.
Done!
I guess the only reason that I would like to give them what we're doing is I actually want the cult to spend resources on something that doesn't exist. And by us telling them that we're going in a different direction, potentially could spend resources.
Could you perhaps tell them that we're going after the horn, but we're going south instead of north, or east instead of west?
We could run into the same problem, though. We could drain our allies the same way. The cult may send resources where they shouldn't be, but again, if our allies then start doing the same, we're not actually getting ahead, and if anything, we're getting behind.
I'm fine telling the council that we are not telling them our answer. I will not outright lie to them.
I'm willing
know
to settle on telling them nothing.
We know that at some level there is likely a betrayal of some kind. Somebody knows something, but again, we might flush out a traitor, but we might alienate one of our allies completely by doing it if we're not careful.
So we agree we will go after the horn, but we will not tell the council our decision.
I will just mention this, not to sway your decision or anything, but obviously, when certain members agree on the council, other members get pissed off. A lot of the alliances here do seem paper thin, very surface level. So, because some of these people are very new to the Council of Waterdeep. Be it everybody on the left besides Zen, and
Yeah,
We do have
these
most of the
guys.
parties represented here.
I'm
not trying to sway any decision. I'm just letting you guys know because,
I may have an idea that may help us root out if anyone on the council happens to be a traitor, but I think
Remember, it might not necessarily be the council; it might be an
Likely.
underling.
It's likely not even a member of the council.
Yeah.
Most of these people have very, very solid reputations.
either way it would let us know which root goes to which tree.
Continue.
There are 5 of us and there's more than 5 on the council. We could safely say that Agatar and Garrick are of one. There's many Lords Alliance, so I don't know if we could safely split them up. But my idea is after this meeting, we tell individual peoples of the council separately that we want their advice and just talk with them and mention that someone else is now holding on to the dragon mask that you have. So what I'm thinking is, Tiny, you would, tell Ramalia that you're now holding on to the dragon mask and you'll keep it safe. Mirren, you already know that Garrick thinks that you have the dragon mask, so you could go to Well, you wouldn't be able to. I could perhaps talk to Tarn and say that, after talking with everyone, they've let me have the dragon mask. And that way, if one of us gets singled out in battle, or if someone is trying to root through our stuff looking for the dragon mask, we would at least have a thread to pull.
To be perfectly honest, I don't think that's going to be that believable, considering how long we've actually known each other.
Also,
If
again,
anything, it would be smarter for each one of us to buddy up next to one of these leaders and act as a student or protege. And I'll say that with grimace, since I don't like that idea.
again, this is more my own personal judgment, but it's not the members of the council that I'm worried about.
It's the underlings.
It's
I'm
when
not
they're-
worried
it's
about
when
them
they're
either, but
going
you're gonna-
through, they're telling the people that are working for them, when they're mobilizing the influence that they have, that's when the corruption happens. Our personal relationship with one or another, or telling them something specific that does not influence their organization's decision, I don't believe is going to be a route that's going to help us. If anything, we're more likely to divide the council. And that hurts us a lot more than it's going to hurt the cult.
Okay.
We can't target our allies. Even if one of them has someone working for them that is a poisoned apple, we cannot be targeting our allies. It's the only thing we've got in the course of this.
I'm comfortable with telling them nothing.
I agree.
Yep.
Shrug.
All right. Is that so? Basically, just open the door. That's what that Alfred guy said, right? So open the door and he'll lead us back. All right.
Yep.
We'll open the door. Tell him to lead us back.
All right, sirs. He'll bring you back in. Knock on the door 3 times, wait to hear something from Laryl Silverhand, and then he will let you guys in. As you come in and take your spots next to whoever you want, if it's actually important, you can say who you're going next to.
I won't. I'll actually stand off to the side, or with the group, if the group stays together.
That's my plan.
It looks like they were all discussing different things. It looked like Conrad, Bron Anvil, Sir Istival, and Ravengard are crossing their arms and mad about something that Melendrak and Silverhand were discussing. But Laryl Silverhand will just raise her hand up and she'll say, I'm glad that you've taken the time to, weigh your options. Have you come to a decision in how you want to help us deal with the Cult of the Dragon?
We have. We as the group are going to take the stance of we need to gather more information on both
Hell yeah.
missions to adequately decide which mission is acceptable. Thereon forth, once we do select what mission, unfortunately, the council must understand we will not be informing the council in which mission we are going to be doing. We wish to be the quiet hand of the council, and not to say that anyone on this council itself is not to be trusted. But
Zen, as you say that, will clap his hand and say, "Ah, they're taking the smart way."
as the council must understand, we have had some
Trust issues.
in the past, and we wish to be quiet with our decision. Trust the council that these missions will be completed, as we know that this is the wishes of the council.
Conrad Bron Anvil will speak up. Well, the 5 of you, we wouldn't trust you with either of these missions if we didn't think you'd get it done. Have we done something that makes you not trust us?
I'll step forward and say, individually, no. In fact, we trust this council implicitly. However, we also know the far reaches of the cult and their influence. And while anyone that sits on this council in my eyes is above reproach, everyone that works for you is not. So please, it's nothing personal, but we need to do our investigation, and we need to make our decision based on whatever we find out in the field as opposed to sitting in a council room.
Ravengard will look at you, and he'll look at Zen, and he'll say, "Everyone's above reproach."
Ravengard, we are acting as you wished. We are taking action, and we are starting to weed out the cult.
I'll also look right at Zen and say, yes.
He'll give you a little half smile, like a smirk. Laryl will step up and she'll say, "Well, if you want more information, obviously a meeting with Taryn Hornblade will give you more information on the Drakhorn. And if you're wondering about Talus the White's leads, I assume Garrick can get you in touch with her, so that she can give you more information there."
I intend to do both.
I do have a few requests of the council, and I'll actually look over at like Marshal Ravengard.
King Melindrak and Lady Silverhand will both speak up simultaneously. Do we get requests from you then?
We'll see how this goes. Marshal Ravengard. We
He'll
left-
look at you, Mirren.
Yeah, we left Flan in a bad state. We don't want the cult to move back in. You want to show the cult some force? Send some of your force there. Protect the town. And you going yourself could even be a large rallying cry.
You think that'd be a good idea, Mirren? He'll ask you.
I do. Our reaches don't go that far east.
Also, the Flan itself is in a lot of ways crippled, not just from this attack itself, but as I'm sure many of you are familiar, there's a weakness from Bane.
It is also a very large trading port, and probably key to what's the one sea? The
Moonsea.
Moonsea.
It would be good to rid that presence of Bane that's been festering in the northern part of the Moonsea. What does the rest of the
eastern base?
What does the rest of the council think? This is actually a good point that Mirren has brought up. A strong force from us would show the Cult of the Dragon that we are not going to let them take over places that we have cleared them out of. The cult will all simultaneously agree, yes, we think that's a great idea. And we think sending you, Marshal Ravengard, is the best move for the council.
Yes, anything to make you go away.
And he'll puff up his chest and say, "You know what, Mirren? If you want to join the Lord's Alliance, we would welcome you with open arms." And Garrick Agatar will say, "He's ours."
I appreciate the offer. And I'll just like look over at like Laurel and give a wink.
She'll give you a little smirk back. She'll look at Marshal Ravengard and she'll say, "Actually, Marshal, that is such a good idea. I believe that you should start rallying some Lord's Alliance and get to Flan as fast as possible. So if you would like to be excused from the council, you are welcome to do so." He'll puff his chest, get up, and walk out. What were you going to say, something, Mathan?
Actually, it brings me back to the next piece, and I'll actually look at Winterhound Delan.
Mm-hmm.
Say, do you know of anything specifically related to an absence or weakness of some of the gods?
Do you have like like a what god in specific?
Bane, 5 years ago.
Oh. Well, oddly enough, I was in Flan, a little bit further back than that. I was meditating with
Crennan?
Yeah, Crennan at the crater. And it was weird. I went to all the different temples inside Flan, and it seemed like the temple with the members of Bane, it seemed empty. Not of people, but of
Power.
spirit.
We felt the same thing when we were there, and is also highlighted in Spurnick's journal. Ector mentioned it as well after he was pressed. They're surviving based on strength of law and force of will, but not actually divine intervention anymore.
And it's definitely with an iron fist.
Yeah, that's what it seemed to be the case at the time. I don't have any further information, but other than I can agree with you that Bane seemed to be missing from the temple.
Something else, if you don't mind me, not necessarily a favor, but at least it's possible that other members of the cult know of Cranon and the Pool of Radiance. That is something I would definitely keep an ear to the ground for.
Well, from what I was able to understand, is that Cranon is not only holding onto other people getting the Pool of Radiance, but he's also tapping into its power. So if anyone ever tries to remove him from it, it was going to take an immense force. I doubt that anyone is going to be able to move him.
Okay.
So I think then, unless anyone else has any other questions, it's time to look at our other options and get our information.
Laeral Silverhand will look at you, Mirren, and she will say, at the very least, Amathon and Tiny, you represent the Harpers. Mirren, you represent the Gauntlet. And Broken Sword and Orf, you have taken the pledge of the Lord's Alliance. If you do decide on doing something, I would talk to at least one of your leaders. Not necessarily telling them what you're doing, but make use of them since they are here. And we have all come together to stop the cult. I would use the resources that are available to you.
Absolutely.
Can we expect the council to also fund or back our journey?
Oh, of course. We would back your journey as soon as you tell us what you wanted to do. If you needed passage north, if you needed passage south, but that is going to imply that you're telling us where you're going.
I'm more thinking provisions, aka healing potions and stuff I can actually res people.
Terran Hornblade will look at you. He's like, you want healing potions? I'll whip you up a few.
That would be much appreciated. Our party tends to have problems with death.
At that comment, Amathon will definitely flex and his tail will start twitching a bit.
Oh.
That hits a sore spot.
Octavian, bro. Ooh.
I still need to have that convo.
Well, Terran will look at you. Do you want to get some information now, or do you want it later?
Well, unless we need the whole council here, maybe it'd be best for us to go our separate ways and we can come and talk to a few of you individually. I don't want to hold up all of your time for our questions unless we need you all as a group.
Lara Silverhand. Yeah, perfect. Lara Silverhand will say that's a great idea. Garrick, do you need them for anything else? Garrick will look at the lot of you and say, no, I just want to say that we all greatly appreciate what you've done. Not for the council, but for the realm as a whole. And even though not all of you are Order of the Gauntlet, we would be very proud for each of you if you were. So thank you.
And I do apologize again for our secrecy.
Zen will laugh. It's the only way you get stuff done, baby. Okay, so you guys can head out. All the council members will thank you. Like they said, if you want more information on the Drakhorn, Terran Hornblade will be the one to talk to. If you guys want to speak to individual members, if you want to speak to all the individual members, you can. It's up to you guys. I just would suggest staying as a party, just because then it's easier for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing one thing before, like right after everyone, like officially gets dismissed, and before everyone leaves. I'm gonna walk straight over to Zen, I wrote this out well. It's short, but I just wrote it out because I wanted
love
to
it.
make sure I didn't forget it. And I want to tell him straight out. I don't trust you, and more so, abundantly clear, I don't like you. I do hope that you end up choosing the right side in this fight, and I can call you an ally someday. I still probably won't like you, though. And I'll turn and walk away.
That rallies the troops.
Yeah, it does. As you're leaving, Zen will say, "Well, at least we know we can talk."
By the way, if I
Yes, we
heard
can.
that, Brady, I would totally be like, might make you a paladin yet.
Multi-class, what up?
And I'll tell you, when you say that, that will never happen.
Can always try.
All right, if you guys want to head out, you can head back to the Yanni portal. I don't know where you guys want to stick together.
Weren't
council's
we
probably gonna
immediately
be
talking
meeting-
with Tarn?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The council's going to talk for a little while longer about different matters and, stuff that you guys aren't directly involved in. So you will get a missive in a couple hours, though, that says, for anyone you want to meet with, just let them know. It'll contain... One second. Do-do-do-do-do-do. You each get a... Where is it? A writ, like a piece of paper, that gives you emergency investigative powers, and it allows you to access resources and sites that you deem necessary for your investigation. But anywhere that you use that writ to get into will be directly reported back to the council.
We're the Inquisition.
So you can get into anywhere you want to investigate stuff, be it investigating about the cult, the Drakhorn, the White Dragon Mask, the Green Dragon Mask, the Blue Dragon Mask, the Red Dragon Mask. You get my point.
Mm-hmm.
You can use it to get into places, but that will directly impact your standing with the council. So, like, if you use it to get into, like, a brothel, Sir Istival probably won't like that too much.
Yep.
If you use it to quarantine a bunch of dwarves and tell them you have to tell me this information, Braun Anvil won't like that. So your implications with that writ are going to directly impact your standing with the council.
Good to know.
So you get that, and you get the ability to call on any of the council members for a private meeting to get the information you want. And this is directly coming from Laeral Silverhand, who, not so subtly, has taken the reins from Garrick. I don't know if you guys realize that.
Oh, definitely noticed that. That private meeting, is that kind of a whenever thing, or is that like a one-shot, meet with one guy kind of deal?
It's up to whatever you guys want to do. I'm taking you off the rails, baby. You can do whatever you want.
Because I am going to try to go and talk to a couple people, well, at least one person privately.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other one, you guys, I don't care if people are there for, but I want to talk to Mel and Brock. That one I don't care if people are around for.
Can I get your guys' email addresses for Gmail? I'm going to share something on Drive with you.
Nice.
Anyone, speak up.
Yeah.
Blitzkrieg at gmail.com.
That's what I'm typing out.
Okay, Jeef111x at gmail.com.
Yep.
Bob, let's see.
Killin.Bob.
Killin.Bob. And Jake.
Jake.hansen87@gmail.com.
Jake.hansen87. And then Brady.
His is in
Cowboy
there.
Splits.
ekrantz9321.
Yep.
Okay. I'm sending you guys should look at this right now. It is a drive-in fight for your current console scorecard. I am not going to tell you how many points you need, but I will tell you, you guys are building reputation with different members of the council. And a positive score will eventually denote how much they help you in the long run.
Good to know.
So you guys have actually been doing this for a while, and I've debated on whether to show you this or not. But I figured I'd show you. It's like Dragon Age style, bros.
That's
I
awesome.
like it.
So anywhere you see minus is that person didn't like what you did there. Positive, if you have a question on why, you can ask if you want to see anything. Obviously, the red wizards are negative because y'all been fucking killing them all the time.
I don't get.
I got a quick question though, there, bud.
Uh-huh.
We claimed the green mask to make sure that the red wizards wouldn't have it. How is that a positive score in the red wizards' favor?
You're assuming that Wrath Modar is working in conjunction with the red wizards.
All right, fair.
I thought he was a red wizard.
He is a red wizard. You're right. I'm not denying that.
Okay.
Individual goals versus group goals.
Yep, got it.
Sweet.
So that's how you're standing now. So if you guys are looking to maybe, you want a certain member to be higher up, you know
Them a
how much work you have to do. Some members just haven't been interacted with very much, so they don't have many points. So that's why they're low.
Yeah.
Other members have interacted with a lot and haven't really liked what you've done.
Yeah.
But, like Older. He just doesn't like anybody.
Hey, but I directed him to go to Flan.
That's true.
Yeah, I
So
got him out.
he's probably not going to have any more scores past this one, to be honest.
I think he should have a score.
That should be a
like,
+1 for everyone else but him.
That's true. I should add that in. I wrote this up before, so.
That's smart. I like it. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So that's where you're standing. So if you're looking to get, obviously, Order of the Gauntlet's doing well. Harper's doing well.
How is the Zen doing well?
Beaver.
Ixusaxa.
Yep. 2 is like a big plus. Like giving the lizard folk their eggs. Emerald Enclave love that shit. Sir Justin supporting you guys. Alda Ravengard love that shit.
That's awesome.
All right.
I like this.
So just keep that in mind for factions that you want to get close to. That's your standing. That's how you would feel your standing is right now.
I
Sweet.
would really wish we were a little more buddy-buddy with the Red Wizards, guys. I'm pretty disappointed.
Hey, you have some time to turn it around. There's a few more council meetings. Hopefully you can get it out of the negative. They did like that you made a deal with Black Phillip.
Yeah, I was noticing a lot of negatives from that, but we got a couple of positives.
The Zentrum didn't mind, bros.
Yeah, okay. They're creative.
Power seeks power.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
So yeah,
Alright.
we can for our next session we can just do those individual meetings and then obviously start investigating what you guys want and then do some combat too.
Sounds good.
Speaking
Good
of,
insight.
So when do you guys want to do this again? Should we keep it on Mondays? Is that cool with everybody? What do you guys want to do?
Every Monday's tough for me because you know how shit gets with work, especially on Mondays. Although that's a lot better now. Next one might be tough. The following should be pretty good.
Okay.
Normally it's kind of an every other, but again, my ability to work on Mondays is a lot better. So
What am I doing?
Is there a better day that works?
I can't do
Any day,
Tuesdays
not
and I
Monday.
can't do Fridays.
Okay, no Tuesdays or Fridays. I can't do
Wednesdays are-
Tuesdays as well.
Wednesdays are normally pretty tough for me.
The last Wednesday of the month is also really hard.
How about Thursdays for everybody?
Thursdays are open for me.
Actually, I'm expecting to be opening up doing Muay Thai on Thursdays. Let's
Okay.
just stick with Monday.
Yeah. I think Monday's going to be the...
I mean, if we bump it up to 7:30, 6:30, and just say that is the time, does that give Brady enough time to get home from work, and does that give you a little bit more play, Brian? Because staying up this late for me isn't too bad, and Bob isn't falling asleep, so it seems like it's all right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hopefully I
that's
can get out a
right.
little earlier than I did today. It's just we were rushed and I had a meeting that went very late.
Well, do you want to do 6:30s on Mondays, and then do you want to do every other Monday? Do you want to do every Monday? What do you guys want to do?
Why don't we play it by ear and just say every Monday, and then if the following Monday doesn't work, then we can just decide at that time.
I would be a fan of that because the one thing I will say is if we do every other Monday, what is it? The 16th might be tough for me depending on we're tearing out the kitchen. Or
So
at least some
just
of it.
plan on the 9th and 23rd right now?
No, plan on the 16th too. It's just it
Oh,
depends
okay.
on how far we go. Like I might have to say sorry, guys.
Yeah, we'll just keep in touch and then
Yeah.
leave Mondays open. And again, if we can't, try to keep doing the Monday thing. If I can't, I'll try to let you guys know as far in advance if shit's gonna go down.
And I would like to work in some Saturday sessions because I like those. So obviously it's going to be harder during the summer. So this is probably something that we can work on maybe later on. But
As fall winter approaches, I'm on board. During the summer, don't get me wrong, I love playing D&D and I love you guys, but I don't necessarily want to spend my Saturday in front of a computer.
I hear you.
If it's not a great day or we're setting something aside, that's fine. I just don't want it to be a regular thing.
So 9th
9th.
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
week from today.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan.
Hey Bob, were you planning on coming out for the draft again this year?
No,
Oh, you weren't?
I don't even know when it is.
It's the weekend
Wow.
before Labor Day. Or sorry,
If-
technically, yeah.
Are you flying, Jeef?
I did not plan on it. Kind of depends on certain plans. Brian.
Oh,
I could possibly do it.
if you want to come out for the draft, I'll be in Minnesota that weekend. If you guys want to do an in-person session, if Bob wants to come out, we could probably get one done.
I
weekend
would
of the
be
draft.
perfectly fine with that. I'm still swimming in PTO.
So that would be August, I think, 25th.
Okay, I do have I'm gonna send an invite to Brady now, but I created the Shaw D&D calendar
Okay.
that everyone should have access to.
So do you guys want to plan for an in-person session if Bob can make it out on the weekend of the draft?
I can talk with Heather.
I should be able to make that work.
Does that give everybody enough time?
Yeah.
What are the dates on that again? Sorry, I just want to make sure.
It is the weekend of the 24th through the 26th of August.
Okay.
So I'll probably be driving up to Minnesota the night of the 24th. So the 25th we could do the draft from noon to 3 or 11 to 3.
We need to call Omni and reserve that.
Oh yeah, shit.
And then well shit, I'll probably have BJ's draft that weekend though now that I think about it.
You always do.
I always do. Either way, we got to call Omni and I'll figure out what my other draft is and then we'll make it work for that weekend. If not, I'll just let you know, Bob.
Okay. I just added Brady and sent out the calendar thing for the weekly one.
My butt is sweating.
And
Cool.
just we can toss the dates in for the other one once that firms up a bit.
Yep. And at the very least, we'll just play next Monday, 6:30 to 9 probably.
That
Cool.
sounds good.
Okay, and then for any Mirren definitely wants to have a conversation with Garrick out of band of everything. Should we just do that in Slack or something?
Oh, with just yourself?
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to have a conversation, all of y'all, with just yourself and someone else, we can do that via Slack. Easy enough.
Okay.
But for conversations that are going to involve, the group, I'd rather just do them.
Yeah. No, this is specifically Mirren talking to Garrick and Augie solo.
Okay. Cool. All right, dudes. Good session.
Good. Yep.
Thank you.
Have
Thanks
a
for
good
running
night.
with me.
Yeah, brothers.
I
Later.
might do a game of League if any of you nerds feel like hopping on.
I'm in.
I
I'll be on there in
will
a
hop
sec.
onto Discord so I can talk to you for a little bit, Brian.
Chiefy. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, later.
All right.